Commentary therapy room, but there is no therapy today. There is only
There's no
streaming.
therapy. There's only blood and war.
Oh,
all we have for each other is bitter fighting.
Fucking contempt that we
Their
just didn't
disagreement.
share with anyone until it was beneficial and profitable.
Wait, no. You helped Skris eat all the Tim Tams.
You know the worst thing? I ate like one Tim Tam. I brought 2 packs. I went home with no packs of fucking Tim Tams. Someone ate my Tim Tams. Which
Skris took them.
Motherfucker!
Dragging Skris in here to fight him too.
Yeah, no, fuck Skris. How dare he?
Skris needs to be fucking raked over the coals.
How fucking dare. Also, yeah, hi chat. We've been fucking around on Twitter. Story of our lives. Mother, I crave violence. Good.
Chat, I am just as clueless as you. I am just here to be the cat in the background.
Look, it's not my fault that somebody decided to be petty. Like, they just can't hold it in.
Oh, it takes two to dance pun.
No, it was definitely fucking you.
You're the pettiest bitch I know.
Stream, you just came out of nowhere with the tweets. It's you. You did this. You didn't even subtweet. You just went straight for it.
I may be a petty, I may not be the petty.
bitches.
I mean, this is true, but
Listen.
Look,
as the
we
regular
all-
cat, I gotta
we've
give Stream
seen-
props.
We've seen how short I am. We've seen my behavior. We know that I am technically a little bitch. But you do not have to drag it out into the public on Twitter there. Like I'm a little bitch on Twitter. I'm a big
Yeah,
bitch.
I can and I will actually. You need to be exposed for the person that you truly are.
And do I? Who's the person that I truly am?
A petty little scuffed gremlin is what.
tentacle kink.
Shit! They got me!
Oh god. Yeah, we are dead naming Twitter, and we will continue to dead name Twitter. We have no fucking respect for Twitter.
No, we
Listen.
don't. We.
Oh my god,
As-
Twitter is
As the
trans?
token...
Okay, wait, hold on.
Okay,
That's not what I meant.
Hold on. As the token trans man of this stream, we are absolutely going to be dead naming Twitter, and if I see anybody using the name X for Twitter, I will delete that message. I'm gonna
Why
abuse my
don't-
power. We are dead naming
why-
Twitter.
Why don't we call it transer?
Oh.
No. fuck off.
Oh.
Twitter.
I hope Twitter is just going through a phase.
Anyways, proceed with your fucking screaming.
Yeah. Sorry. How dare you interrupt us? Actually.
Yeah, how dare you
Oh.
distract us from our fighting? How could
This
you?
is
Shut the
your
fuck
fault
up,
that
this is
we've
Fight
gone
Club.
off the rails.
Yeah, we're blaming you now,
Oh,
Lumi.
sure.
We're changing
Alright,
the
go for it.
direction of our anger.
Alright, go for it.
I mean,
No,
if you
go
really
on,
want
go
to
on.
think about it, like, who was the one that brought us into this call in the first place?
Oh, hold on.
You
Listen,
Mali,
listen.
if you didn't do this, we wouldn't be here right now. fighting.
Motherfucker. No, you don't. No. I tried to play nice. Hold on.
We could be having, like, a super nice Saturday where we just, like, chill and pretend we like each other, and Mally
I
was
could
just
have
like,
like
no,
been playing
let's beef
Among
it
Us
out.
right now, but you had to drag me
yeah.
into this.
Holly did text me like 5 seconds before stream started, being like, "You want to play Among Us?" I'm like, "Aren't we already playing Among Us in the our commentary community?"
We are already sussy bakas.
Okay, I do have to admit, it is very cathartic seeing people. Are you serious or JK?
That was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Are you slash or
Please
slash
don't bring-
JK?
Please don't bring your personal stuff to Twitter.
I mean, they're right. For the record, they're right.
Yes.
Oh
Alright,
god, is this
so-
about the Twitter drama and pro shipping stuff? Damn fucking straight it is.
Alright, so, stream, I'm gonna be the mediator here because Mally sucks ass. I need you to tell me what exactly B has done to you.
Come
How
on.
has B hurt you?
I've salted their crops.
I
B,
fucked their
I'm
wife.
not
They
asking you,
did.
excuse the fuck you, I asked you to stream. The real victim here, thank you very much.
Fine, alright, fine, I'll
Right.
just fucking mute, alright.
Team stream.
Okay, so B, she left dirty dishes in the sink.
Oh, you bitch! Perish.
This is true. I leave dirty dishes in the sink. I'm a dirty dish leaver. I would like to counter this with the fact that Stream picked up a cockroach with the bare hand.
Excuse you, I was saving you from the cockroach since apparently you were allergic to them.
You were
Based.
saving me from the cockroach, and I appreciate that. But you picking it up with your bare hand has made me fear your power.
Based.
cockroaches are bitches. Whoever can't pick them up with their bare hands, they need to grow a pair.
We're
True.
Twinkies. What
What?
are they filled with?
What?
Guts?
What?
What the fuck?
Why are their guts Twinkie fillings? Why are they Boston
Oh.
cream donuts?
I mean, look, they make a good point. They make a good point.
Yeah, no, stream's got you by the balls there.
Yeah, see, shaking my head.
I mean,
Because I'm a bitch for not holding a roach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
a bitch for not holding a roach.
You know
I'm the
what?
big-
I'm actually gonna go for the throat here real quick. The stream can pick up a cockroach with bare hands. Don't you literally participate in vulture culture?
yeah.
How's a cockroach too much?
The things that I'm touching are dead.
Like,
They're not swiggling in my hand.
However, counterpoint, they often have creepy crawlies inside of them.
Yeah, but those are fine.
what?
I usually know. I'm not allergic to those. And I
It's
just wash
fine
them
when
off
they
my
can.
hand.
It's fine when they can like crawl inside your skin, but no. If it's outside, it cannot do that. No, not good enough.
What bug on dead things is going to crawl inside your skin? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Aren't
I'm sorry,
all
it's-
bugs that are like on dead animals already crawling inside skins?
Yeah, maggots.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna disassociate the fuck out of this conversation. What?
I feel like I would know if a maggot was crawling into my skin.
Crawling in your.
Hold on. Chat makes a good point. Ponder, didn't you say on stream once there was a bunch of baby spiders on your lamp? Which cute, by the way.
Yeah, what about it?
Correct response. What about
I
it?
don't have an issue with spiders.
See? Based
Why
in
did
Red
you kick me
Pill.
out of your bed then? I was comfy there!
Stream
Wait.
is a spider, confirmed.
Wait, what?
Well, you saw me in real life. You know I'm a real life arachnopod.
What? The
Yeah.
Wait, I'm
Stream
sorry.
has
Back up.
8 legs, and it is a very lanky little spider.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I'm a
I
little
missed
spider.
this tea. At what point was stream in your bed? What?
Ayo.
Ponder
Am
Sprocket.
I sensing?
Motherfucker, I was in B's bed. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
No. That was only during the trip. I am there after the trip as well.
Motherfucker.
Hold on. I'm sensing jealousy. All right. As the therapist in the room, obviously the cat has to be the therapist because the host isn't gonna do it. I am sensing some immense jealousy right here, so we're gonna work through that. Mali, I would like to give your honest opinion and feelings. I want you to spill those feelings right onto the chat. Please
the
tell us
tea.
how the fact that stream was in Ponder's bed more than you could ever wish to be has made you feel.
I feel quite attacked with the way that you've worded this.
I'm sorry, I don't get paid to be nice, thank you.
Do you feel inadequate as a lover?
I mean, please give me your opinion.
I can't even fucking go with the bit. I can't breathe. Oh,
That sure
God.
sounds like a skill issue. Mali, given that you are in a just absolutely
I'm going
inadequate
to fucking flex on. I'm flexing on chat and stream right now because I have physically been in B's bed. Get on my level.
Yep.
You're in
Well,
B's
I'm-
chat. I'm in B's bed. Get fucking good.
for fuck's sake. Well, Mali,
You are
I'm
not
gonna
the
flex on you. I will flex on you, Mali. I have 2 bottles of Bailey's waiting for me downstairs.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you. How could you? How could you?
And one of them is a
Actually, we should
tiramisu
probably
flavored
get to
one.
like.
We should
actually
actually
what
get to the
we're here
point.
to talk about.
We
What
do
we came
actually
here
have a
for.
point today.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not just trolling you guys and then hanging out for 3 hours.
I totally would do that, but yeah, we do actually have a point today.
So, Mali, how about this, just to keep it organized? How about I read out the questions and you guys answer them?
Okay,
Or
but
do you-
first let
because
me-
I'm assuming you want to take in that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But first, let me actually say to chat what we're doing today, so that we don't any further derail. Hi,
Yeah,
chat.
go for it.
We're discussing, I guess, the ethics behind aging up characters, as well as pro and anti shipping today. We're also, B and I are going to be educated a little bit, because before stream we were chatting and realized that we don't even fucking understand the terminology in some cases, so...
Yeah, there's apparently more terminology than we even knew about.
Yeah, so Stream and Lumi are going to guide us just a little bit. But just for a little bit of background, bit of deep fucking lore,
Oh,
Ponder...
God.
Yeah, so Stream and Ponder, I don't think you ever made a video about aging up characters. But
No,
both.
she did. I
Did
think
you?
It was part of the your art is gross one, right? Like
Oh, yes,
Oh.
I did talk about it a little bit in the your art
Offends my sensibilities.
Stop
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sorry. It's fucking
I talked
super
about it
fan
a
over here.
little bit there. But I
Yeah.
did want to
Oh.
touch on it a lot more, but I wanted it to be more of like a big expansive thing, but I haven't really had the time to like proper look into it, and all I really have to cite is like the book that I learned it from.
Man.
Imagine
So, I'm
imagine
the
someone
only
reading an
person-
art commentary. Could not be fucking
Yeah,
me.
right.
Oh, actually, I'm bringing in my psychology textbooks for this, so you better be ready.
Oh shit.
Oh,
We're about to get dunked on.
hell yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
so
the only one who hasn't made a video on it.
yeah, but it's been kind of interwoven into a bunch of topics that B has covered. And basically, I guess we all kind of fall onto... We make up the spectrum, I think, of making... Shut up, Lumi. Of our opinions on the topic. So Stream is sort of like, I don't want to say hardline, but very much do not interact. I'm a little bit more in the middle, and I think B is on the other end of it, like, do what you want unless it's illegal. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. We haven't sat down and discussed this in person. This was actually Stream threw out this idea to me at VidCon, and it's kind of festered in the back of my brain. So here we are. I thought, you know what, fuck it, we should do it. So I've dragged them both on today to discuss this.
I invited myself.
Louis just fucking arrived. I can't get him out of my house.
Yeah, you can.
I keep them in the
hold
basement.
on. No. I'm gonna defend myself here because literally before the stream, I told Mally, "Do you want me out of here?" She's like, "No, you can stick around."
Yeah, no, Lumi is very much invited. But yeah, so I guess, Lumi, I'll throw it over to you if you want to give us our kind of introductory question.
All right. So introductory questions. You mentioned everyone's on the spectrum, so I'm actually gonna deviate a bit from the questions that are on the side, and
Mhm.
I'm actually going to give a funny little haha question here. You mentioned the spectrum, how everyone leans. So I'm gonna actually, wow, English, am I right? I'm gonna actually quick.
Take a moment, Louis. It's
I'm
okay.
I am bilingual. I am struggling. It's been 2 days. I have not slept. But
Hello,
Here's the fun part.
bilingual.
hey, yeah. Why'd you think I said I appreciate someone else who does it? Like, mate,
Oh.
I literally spoke Polish at you.
Bow to the people who are better than us.
Spirit, my brain is like
Yeah.
mush right now.
Mate, fuck
Don't mind me,
you.
I'm at
Anyways.
nibble and brekkie. Because it's 7 a.m.
Good. I was actually wondering if you were gonna get breakfast. So, here's the real question: where do you guys, if you were to use those pro-ship, anti-ship, whatever the
Oh
fuck
god.
terms, where would you put yourself on the label? I'm
Just
gonna
call
start with
me
Mally.
anti-shipper and shoot me in the foot.
Alright, I
See,
guess I
if
don't get to choose.
if I specifically had to label myself, I probably would go with anti-ship just because there's so much on the pro ship side where like there could be like shit that I don't know about that I don't want to get lumped into, where it's just like, God, don't fucking like, unless I say I'm okay with a thing, don't involve me.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm about to have a little bitch fit about this because this drives me fucking insane. Because these
Bruh.
terms are just internet people arguing, everyone's idea of what a pro shipper and an anti shipper is wildly different to each other.
Yes.
So for
I
some
mean, I guess
people,
we could like define that
Well,
like in the stream and like go off of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, yeah, we will loop back to that, but let me have my bitch fit first so the chat understands my frustration. Because some people, pro shipping can mean anything from you endorse like incest and rape and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
And for other people, it can be you like a ship that I don't like, and
Yes.
you can never fucking tell which they mean. And that's why you can't identify as either an anti, because an anti can mean, oh, I just don't like illegal shit, or it can mean I am firmly against even the concept of fucking romance, it seems. So it's like you can't identify with either of them, because if I say, oh, well, I would identify more as a pro shipper, people turn around and go, so you're a nonce. It's like, what? No, that's not what I fucking said.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
that always ends up really being the problem.
So I have an idea for this stream just to make it easier. So I'm gonna lay it out like this. We've got pro shipping moral edition, where it is
Moral edition.
ship whatever the fuck you want as long as it's not illegal. And then I'm gonna say anti-ship moral edition, where it's like, do not ship anything fucking fucked up, essentially. So like, do not ship somebody who is like fucking in their
Okay,
30s with
well,
a
I mean,
minor.
okay,
But
that
that's like the same
I feel like
person.
They're
that's a
kinda the
moral
same.
anti though. Like, okay, here's my quip with that. Because as much as I like hate like a lot of the shit that I see in the Undertale fandom, my thing is, if you want to do like fucked up shit, like can I say the p word, or is that like against Twitch?
Just say nonce.
I don't, yeah,
say
just say
nonce.
nods for now.
Okay, yeah. Like if it's like if you want to like write about like nonce or like grape or whatever the fuck, like if you're treating it as the subject as it is, like, you know, a horrible fucking thing, ignore the birds.
They
No.
scream.
No, I would acknowledge
As
them.
like
I
as
love
long as
them.
you're treating it like as, you know, like terrible, and you're writing it as such, like fucking go off, like do whatever the hell you want, as long as it's like being treated in the manner it should be treated in, and not like oh woo cute, oh my god, you know, this is my favorite couple, X woo.
Okay, so let me try this again. We've got pro shipping, where it's like, do whatever the fuck you want. We've got moral anti-shipping, where it's like, do whatever the fuck you want as long as it's morally right, which morals are coming in question. So it's like, portray negatives as negatives. So like, if you have anyone participating in incest, for example, you're not going to portray it in a good light, but you can write about it. And then we have anti-shipping, where it's just hardcore as fuck, and you just do not ship. How dare you? I disagree with you. Go kill yourself.
I disagree with you as a person.
Yeah, how dare.
Someone in chat just asked, like, what are they generally? In very, very general terms, like, the broad strokes, pro shippers ship everything and anything, anti-shippers ship nothing and get very angry.
What?
That's basically the broad strokes you could paint it in, being like,
Okay, fine.
You know
fairness,
that's how it comes across.
I have
fucking
seen
joking.
some anti-shippers who are like, you can't ship these characters because these characters in particular are underage. Both of the characters were like in the canon underage, but their whole mentality was, because they are children, you cannot ship them as
what
if
the
we were
fuck?
shipping real people.
and also, like,
gonna-
shipping does not have to mean sex. And we've seen children have
Yeah, it
romances,
could
like,
just
a
be-
bazillion times. But they
It
are
could
talking
be
about sex, let's
holding
be honest.
hands.
Oh my god. Well, that's the thing. When people say shipping, they pretty much almost exclusively mean sex. The only time
Yeah,
I've seen, like,
Ugh.
an anti get mad about, you know, a ship that wasn't involved with sex was, they say those characters together are toxic and therefore you cannot ship them. And I was like, fuck you, give me my messy hose.
Yeah, people are allowed to enjoy toxic like one of the benefits of fantasy is that it allows you to explore things that you understand would not be beneficial for you in real life.
Hmm.
That's the point of the fantasy. You get to indulge in only the perceived benefits while ignoring everything you don't like about it.
Can I this is chat, this is my trigger warning. I'm about to, reiterate what I said in the Vault Part 1 video to try and explain this to people
Oh,
in a
God.
very graphic but simple way. Alright, is everyone
shit,
tabbed
okay.
out? Alright, good. Do you actually think we want to die via monster cock?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe. You know what? There probably is someone out there that if it was possible, they totally fucking would.
There's always someone on the
I-
extreme end.
There is. But generally speaking, most people just like the fantasy. Like,
Yeah, most people, when they say, I want to be destroyed by a monster cock, they're speaking figuratively.
yeah. So it's like, it frustrates me
I
when
mean, like,
people
okay,
equate
here's
fantasy to actual
kind
desire.
of. Okay, wait. Here's my kind of counterpoint to that. For people who like don't have platforms or like are doing this in private, fucking God. Okay, fine. Do whatever the hell you want. It's not really my place to step into your personal life. But once you bring this kind of shit into like public platforms, like I know as much as we meme about Twitter like being full of porn and everything, there's still
Yeah.
quite a lot of children. Like we cannot feign ignorance at this point that Twitter's
Yeah.
mostly like little itty bitty kids. If you're posting that shit on Twitter, like it's just someone is gonna stumble across that. You're posting it on a very public place. You're clearly trying to grow an audience based off of this kind of work, and that's kind of like my problem, especially if it's stuff that's, you know, like romanticizing and fetishizing shit like incest and pedophilia and everything else. Oh fuck, I said it.
Well, I mean, pedo stuff, I believe, it's basically like there's this talk of not safe for work and all that type of stuff, and then in a whole other section there's pedo stuff, because I don't consider them on the same level at all. But
Yeah.
it's a little bit difficult because
I mean, okay, that's kind of the problem though, because like with pro shippers, some of the argument is that like it's just the same thing, like it's fine, like, you know, like that stuff and like pro ship goes kind of hand in hand, at least like
well, we should
from my
smack
experiences
those
with
people.
pro shippers.
We should smack them. But I feel like
So you guys keep talking because I'm actually gonna do a thing that I think is gonna make it easier.
okay,
To get some shit sorted.
okay.
In this. So
Godspeed. Although I do want to point out, I feel like it's almost, again, a separate conversation to talk about kids online, because you're specifically talking about Twitter, but realistically, kids make up the most people online everywhere. And then it's kind of like, okay, how do we manage, you know, adults existing online and being adults and liking adult things and protecting children? Because that's not even like an argument or a rebuttal. That's a genuine fucking question. Like, Stream, you're a little bit.
It's so difficult to keep them out of these spaces. Like even if you did manage to get the adults to limit all of this activity exclusively to adult-only spaces, it is still so difficult to keep kids out of those spaces.
I mean, like, okay, that's kind of like the thing, right? Like, there's a difference between attempting to keep the kids away from this kind of stuff and like posting it on like a public Twitter in a very public space where it's very, very easily accessible.
Well,
so
also,
it's kind of the.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's like we all joke about the Pornhub, oh, are you 18 kind of thing, like, but like genuinely that is at least on some part an effort to try and filter out people. Yeah. Like you put it on a separate website, you put a filter in front of it, and if people still go forward to click on that, that is no longer, like, blame should not be placed on the poster at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of have two, because someone in chat just said, isn't Twitter not safe work profile limit as a thing? Yes. And also, we've probably all seen it, where they have in their bio, like, you know, this is not safe for work, or I'll ban minors if I become aware of you. I've followed a couple of accounts where they've actually privately messaged me, just to be like, oi, you of age? I'm like, yes. I'm decrepit and turning to dust as we speak, yes. And I think
my best years are behind me.
Yeah, it's like literally, I am a woman. Like, we expire after 25.
Yep.
That's how it works. we no longer have value as women after 25. Don't worry about it. But just gotta throw that one out there.
The reason I'm into vulture culture is because I myself am a walking corpse.
There you go. The only thing you can relate to. Got it.
That's why we're into old men. Anyway,
oh my fucking god!
We've derailed a little bit there. Sorry, my bad. God, I was saying a thing about not safe for work. Yeah, as long as people have it clearly marked, I don't have any. Actually, another example. I won't say who it was because that would be very rude of me. But recently, I just followed someone on Twitter, and they gave me a forewarning before I followed them. Like, oh, by the way, I post not safe for work in case you don't want to see that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I don't care, but, you know, thank you for telling me. So I think as long as people are upfront, like, look, this is an 18+ space. Children do not interact. I feel like at that point, it's very much they've done all they can do without banning themselves from the platform.
Yeah. But then the problem is, like, you have those negligent users who, like, don't really bother. They don't care. They don't really.
Well, you have sort of three categories. You have negligent people, people who don't even think about it. It's like idiots like me. And then people who actively do want a child audience, and that's where you step into the area where it's like, okay, either they're exploiting kids because they're an easy audience, or they're not. And that's kind of where a lot of the problem lies. And my frustration with this argument is people sort of lumping all of them together, and it's like, that doesn't actually fix the problem.
Well, God forbid you have gray on the internet, Mali. We've been over this.
Everything is a black and white issue, don't you know?
My head.
I wish to die.
You've been on here longer than I have.
It probably also helps that I imagine a lot of this rhetoric specifically, like, comes from developing teens and, like, young adults and kids themselves, which is why it's generally so underdeveloped. And, like, it ends up, it's an internet thing, so it ends up being spread around, and then people misconstrue it. It's like any word, if you don't fully understand it. And even sometimes if you do, you might say it wrong to someone and then they take it and they travel with it. They fuck it up even further. It's like people using gaslighting to mean like you're lying to me or something.
You're gaslighting to me right
or-
now, Ponder Sprocket.
or
How dare
even
you?
worse,
You're saying something I
you
don't agree with.
disagree
Gaslighting.
me. Yeah, exactly. Like you disagree with me. You're gaslighting me. I've seen that so
Oh.
often.
It's kind of
So
you take sort of three terrible components and put them together. You take young people, so children, teens, young adults even, so idiots.
the internet.
Yeah, you take idiots, and then you mix them with tribalism because antis and pro
Oh,
shippers is
yeah.
very much a tribalism thing.
Yeah.
And then you throw the internet inability to communicate in, and suddenly you have war over fucking Sans Undertale.
Plus,
Oh my god,
everybody's
please do not
anonymous.
make me
I
talk
am
about
calling
the
you out.
NSFW Twitter community.
Actually, you know,
hold
straight,
on.
as our resident Undertale person, what the fuck is going on with Sans Undertale not safe? What the fuck is all that?
Okay.
Why
do
is
you
he
really
gooey?
want me to get into that?
Do not.
Oh, is there tea?
Okay,
Bruh,
hold
it's
on.
Sans fucking
so-
Undertale. Of course. It's
So the Undertale NSFW community consists of, I want to say, 3 main components, but really it's 2 main components because the third one is basically non-existent. There's the Sans X, like literally anyone else, and like that part is usually fine. And then you have the Sans X Sans
You
and
have
the
the
Sans X
Once-la
his
fandom.
family. So Sans X
Oh.
Gaster, Sans X Papyrus. Gaster is usually the dad, and
I've
Papyrus is
seen
like the
those.
fucking brother. Yeah. So they go like really fucking far with that kind of shit. It's like abusive. It's dehumanizing. There's always incest. There's always incest.
goddamn. This is you know, this is like
And it's romanticizing. Like it's just straight up romanticizing it.
It's that
Alright.
thing where young I'm gonna fucking generalize the shit out of this, but we all feel this. It's when a young group of female fans don't have enough male characters to pick from to ship, and they just do the one
Yep.
thing, or they take family members and be like, this will do.
That
Yep.
wouldn't be the problem though, because there's so many great characters in Undertale. Like you
Name
got Asgore, you
name
have
the
Roby,
male
you have...
character you would ship Sans with.
You know what? People do ship Asgore Sans at times.
But
I
is
would
that
ship
really
Roby with
like?
Sans if I could?
It's not the one that
Okay.
really jumps at you, is it?
But
Okay.
you have to think about it. If you're
Sans is,
talking about
popular
like
outside of the fucking Undertale NSFW Twitter sphere.
you have to talk.
Hold
You have to think
on.
about it though. If you're talking about teen girls who like the smooth, bald, like
Oh.
boyishness of Sans, they're not gonna go for Daddy Harry, whatever the fuck his
They
name
don't
is.
have any
Asgore.
taste, is what you're saying.
They're gonna go for other stuff that looks like the thing that they like. That's why Twincest back in the Oran High School Host Club
Oh,
days was such a
God.
thing that I remember.
Oh,
Everybody liked the twins, and they liked the twins going at each other because it was literally
Okay,
just the
wait.
same character but
I
twice.
will
Hold on.
defend those children for a second because anime in specific really makes like incest seem normalized,
Yeah.
and then on top
Yeah.
of that, in the anime itself, they do the twincest thing. Like they actively
yeah.
push it. So I wouldn't put that on fans, like especially young fans. They're just going with what the fuck they see.
Well,
Like,
by that logic,
that's
then
that's like the problem, right?
Hold
we
on.
want to like try and keep kids away from like this kind of shit because when I was younger and I saw all this shit, like I'm
Bro, this was on
99%
daytime
sure
TV.
I got messed up in some capacity.
That's the thing. It's not even an internet
Okay.
problem. That's a culture problem at that point.
yeah.
I'm gonna chip in real
Yes.
quick. First off, even on the stream, I cannot get away from Nikki's fucking deplorable bullshit with the anime, and I'm gonna fucking say that outright because I saw her in the chat.
Oh, I saw
Second,
her
Mali,
mention
I tagged
Vampire
you.
Night. Incest on
Uh,
crack. True. So true.
Please
Mr.
don't
Joker.
talk to me about Vampire Night. I'm going to ban you from
But-
everything I know.
Wait,
Good,
I haven't seen
good.
Vampire
Anyways.
Night.
Oh,
There was
wait,
some
Oh,
stuff-
guys, let me
Jesus
finish.
Christ. Okay. Second of all, ouch my ears. Third, Mali, I tagged you in the chat for this aptly called chat that I cannot read out on stream because nobody talks about it. Where I made a graph in MS Paint for this, and I think it's applicable.
Oh, okay, hold on. Where? Oh. Okay,
MS Paint, baby.
okay. That's a good graph. Yep.
And Ponder and Stream, you both can also see it.
Just for chat.
Okay.
They sent me a graph
Which chat is it?
for
in?
pro shipping,
The
which I'll see if I can find that.
unspoken. Yeah, I can't say the name of the chat. It's forbidden.
Is forbidden. That's right. I'll see if I can grab
It
that
is.
on screen in a
It's the
minute.
first. It's the
Morals
first rule.
begone.
I think I described it pretty aptly. Thank you very much.
I very much feel
Okay,
like
you know what? I will say.
Go ahead.
No, this is just like complete meme. I miss being like a creator small enough that I could just say like kill yourself as a joke because I can't do that anymore. I can say it with my friends
can.
still.
Don't worry. I'll do it for you. Kill yourself. I'm small. I can say it.
See, here's the thing. I hate to say it because everyone else I say it to, they're like, haha, funny. And then my friend turns it around like, no, that's just how he shows he cares, and it's starting to ruin it for me.
Oh, yeah. Lumi tells me to kill myself very frequently. It's basically a greeting at this point.
Kill yourself.
There we go.
Well,
Alright,
Mali,
B,
unironically-
I would love to explain to you in great detail everything wrong with Vampire Knight.
No,
And how
Mali,
it has
we
lived
don't
rent-
have
No, no,
enough
no, no,
time
no,
on the
no, no,
stream
no,
to
no,
explain
hold on,
everything wrong with
hold on.
Vampire Knight.
Alright, but let me
Hold
at
on.
let me at least
Mali.
give
Mali.
the
Mali.
5-second explanation, please.
All right, 1 sec. Hey Google, set timer for 5 seconds.
Oh, come on. You know I was being figurative. So, it's mega incest, but with your ancestor. Did I do it?
You're fucking your grandpa, brother-in-law.
Yeah, so he's raised as her brother. Alright, guys, just the pro shipping things on screen now. So he's, like, raises
so
her
weird.
pretending to be the older brother, even though he is actually their ancestor. And then she loses all of her memories, so he pretends to just be a kid at her school. Reminder, here is an ancestor. And then she finds out that he is her quote-unquote brother. They're still in love. They still go for it. And then she finds out he's her ancestor. They're still in love. They still have a kid. They still go for it. Also, her uncle is trying to rape her because he wanted to have sex with her mum and then couldn't, and so killed their mum. And her mum and father were also brother and sister. Vampire Knight. Oh yeah, there's
I
vampires in
hate
there
this
too.
anime.
But is that not accurate?
My God!
I'm gonna. You know what? Fuck killing Mali. I'm gonna kill myself. Fuck this right
I have recently very seriously considered sitting down and doing like a video about Vampire Knight because it lives rent free
We
in my
can talk
brain.
about Vampire Knight another day. That's like a whole
It
video
is. It
to
really
unpack.
is.
Wait, hold on. Fucking toasty cheese and fucking chat. Just fucking family shrub. All right.
Someone was like,
how
"Oh, they're talking about Vampire Knight."
mega incest. But okay, we've been here for almost 40 fucking minutes. I think we
Oh,
should get on to the actual questions.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. The
Smart. You're the
All
smart
right,
one.
so
Keeping us on track.
Here, okay, before we start, I want to wholeheartedly just start this. I do not want this to get so chaotic that the audience cannot understand you guys. So I say we set an order for how we tackle things. Given that Mali is the host, she gets to go last.
Oh. I feel like that's a little backwards, but I totally get it. Go on.
It's like how
No,
the
no,
host
no, no. It's
gives
just
themselves their
politeness.
dinner plate last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it like Pond and I like are on like the two opposite spectrums, right? And then we get like the middle opinion.
Oh,
to finish
yeah.
off.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm constructive with that. And given that stream is based, I'm gonna let stream go first. So, also, Hopeless Peaches, shut up. I will cancel you on twitter.com for sprinkle mode. Thank you. Anyways, so first question, even, Jesus Christ. Stream, you get me. I need your stances on aging up characters strictly for safe for work content. So, stream, you go
Oh.
first.
Just for clarity,
Uh,
safe for work content. Oh, sorry, Lumi, was that safe for work including dark themes or?
No, you put that in
Okay, yes,
MSFW.
that's right. All right,
for
yeah. So
non-work.
strictly for safe for work. Okay, go ahead.
Your questions.
Like I feel like
twat.
that's fucking fine. Like do whatever you want. If you want to envision them like as grown-ups, I don't care.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Um,
neutral base take, honestly.
I'm actually gonna chuck in an alternate though. When we're gonna say aging up, we're gonna put two of them. We're gonna say aging up to where you actually make them look grown up, and we're gonna say aging up to where you have a child and you're gonna like, nope, they're 18.
I'm so sorry. I am so deeply, deeply sorry, but I just glanced at chat and I have read the worst message. It has ruined my day because I forgot about this. it is just talking about the continuation of how the incest in Vampire Knight develops to be even stranger somehow. Sorry, please, I just needed everyone else to be aware of my suffering. And then I do actually have something extra to add to this question. The reason this is a question is because, and these are the more extreme cases, is I've seen people claim it's wrong to age up characters for any reason, including safe work reasons, because that's not how the creator wanted them to be perceived. That is why this is a question.
Basically, you're
I mean,
deviating
by
from the
that
canon too
logic,
much.
fan fiction, fan art in any form that deviates the character in any way from their original design or their original intentions shouldn't be allowed. So that's stupid.
I mean, like,
that is so restrictive.
Okay, we're talking about like Catholic family and kids, right? Because I've actually, funnily enough,
what did you do?
I've actually had like this specific problem come up in my life before. There was like for some on I don't know why, but like when I was a kid, I found these like Powerpuff Girl, Rowdy Rough Boy comics where they just had like, I don't even know if they specified if it was aged up or not, but like they just had like the characters like drunk and like in the hospital and having kids and they like looked the exact same as they did like as 6-year-olds in the show. Yeah.
The Powerpuff Girls fandom is weird. They draw the characters in situations where like they're supposed to be aged up, and sometimes they do make efforts to do it, and other times they just totally stick with the chibi style and they're like, yeah, no, they're adults, I just didn't want to draw them differently.
But like, okay, that's the funny part, right? Because there is an episode in the show where they canonically get aged up.
Yeah,
like,
they turn it into teenagers.
Yeah, we can see what the progression is. Like, okay, anyways, so
okay, so
my
I will
stance on that
restate
is
my
like
thing
if
real
it's
quick.
like a younger artist.
Real quick, just gonna restate. So we have two variants of the question from now on because I think there's a big difference between it. So we have the one where they actually put effort into aging up the character visually as well, and then we have the one where they still look the same age, but the person's doing no, totally 18, 100% legit, furry, trust me.
You
trust
can
me,
say
bro.
younger, that's okay. I had a
I
comment
wasn't gonna
recently
state
that
names.
drove me fucking insane on the age up video where someone was like, actually no, it was they were actually they're not in high school, they're actually attending a college, like a university that's just built to look like a high school and function like one. And I'm sitting there like, motherfucker, if it quacks and waddles, it's a duck, and that is a teenager.
Literally.
Like, you don't get to sit here and be like, no, actually, they're all adults. They just look and act and live like high school kids.
It's the lolly actually argument.
Oh my god, Anyway, we're right.
Okay.
Before we derail, please continue, Lumi.
Yeah,
right.
I just wanted
okay.
to make that clear because I think it's important. So, Stream, I'm gonna let you tackle the first point, then the second point, you get it. Go for it. Go.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm gonna try and make this faster so Thunder can get hers out. If it's a kid doing it and like they like haven't made any efforts to age up, like they probably don't have a lot of imagination. Like I would give it a pass. Like leave them alone. They're kids. Adults doing it, the further they are from being an actual adult, the more of a side eye I'm giving you. If they're like 10 years old and you draw them in the future, still looking 10 years old and having a kid, you are going on the list, and I'm not going to specify what that list is.
Wait, sorry, just to clarify, are you still talking about safer work content?
Yeah. Like
so, no, nothing sexual or anything. Just they just
no. Like,
have a
think
kid?
about it. Like a 10-year-old with a family with a kid. The implication being,
okay, but like so, like they look like a kid, but they have a kid.
Yes,
that just sounds like a fucking skill
problem.
issue to me.
Ugh.
That sounds like a genuine skill issue.
I'm not gonna use that.
I'm not even like morally opposed.
I legitimately have come across instances, or rather been presented with instances, where artists were being called, like, not terribly great things because they were lacking in the skill issue to make the characters look the age that they were trying to make them look.
It's like, is it bad art or bad intent?
Exactly. Like, sometimes it's difficult to tell, unless you look at, like, the broader scope of what the artist does.
Oh god.
That's fair.
Yeah, I won't judge people if they lack the ability to do it. I won't judge
skill
you for
issue.
That.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just had a realization. I have the perfect example
of
somebody who could be mentioned as a perfect variable for like, do you consider this okay? So as a kid, I read a comic series, and it wasn't until literally reading more into it that I went, "What the fuck? They're related."
Oh,
And it is by the artist Bleed Man.
why do we keep...
Oh my god! Don't
Oh.
talk to me about Bleed Man!
Stream has lots of fucking trauma at this point.
Oh, stream. If
Why
it makes you feel
do I
better.
get so fucked up?
Okay, stream.
Yeah,
If it
I
makes you
also
feel
grew up
better.
on Blade Man.
Okay, but stream. If it makes you feel better, my sister wasn't born when I was like reading this shit. So,
Oh,
and I
thank
was
God.
like, I was 11 when she was born. So,
She's been
so
spared.
she has been spared. I have been absolutely monitoring her intake of the internet.
Good.
Oh god. Well, yeah.
But yeah,
Just, guys,
perfect example
look
of.
how after the youngins. God damn.
Do not.
Oh my god, this is the
Alright.
funniest comment I've seen. Stream probably used Amino.
I did! Oh my god, I did!
I tried to.
Undertale kids, I tell you.
Oh,
Oh wait,
so-
hold on. Who's echoing? Who is it?
Me,
Stream.
probably. I can't
No,
fix it. I'm in a big
I think
ass
it's
room.
me. I think it's coming from within the house.
It's coming from within the house. It's me in the basement.
B, do you want to give your 2 cents? I think you already kind of have, but just formally.
Clarify the question for me again.
Basically, your stance on aging up characters for strictly safe for work content, so no pornography, nothing like involving anything you cannot look at work if you're in a casual setting. So, but we're taking into consideration characters that are aged up to where they look aged up, and characters that were quote unquote aged up, where it's like you're drawing essentially a 12-year-old, they look 12, they act 12, but they're totally 18, guys, I promise.
Like the fucking lol argument, god.
Wait. I am so sorry. I have to.
Let me try and clarify
Okay.
quicker than that. So aging characters up for safer work content, but keeping in mind some characters actually look aged up and some just say they're aged up, but it's still safer work
Oh.
content.
I mean, I guess it would. I mean, safer work content. I think of like, I don't know, holding hands or just like
Well,
whatever.
Or even just like a lack of romance entirely.
Yeah, if the way I see it, I don't know if this is a controversial stance. I've said this is my stance before, but I view characters as tools. So whatever project you want to complete, you select the correct tools for that project. Obviously, not everybody views it that way, but like that's how I explain people like making their fan fiction and whatnot. And when it comes to like fan fiction and shipping and whatnot, one of the big aspects that goes into like what tool people use is projection and like what character they're projecting onto. So like if somebody's having I don't know, bad stuff in their life and they want to fantasize about a character who has like a good life with their friends, they might do like safe for work, I don't know, friendship art of a character that they relate to specifically from like a favorite show or something. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I think it's healthy. I think people should be allowed to do what they want with tools, provided it's not hurting people.
okay, so I do need to chip in real quick. I am being pulled away because certain set of adults twice or triple my age have made really bad choices
alright, Libby,
currently,
Libby,
and I'm
just-
being
just
forced
go.
to fix them.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Oh no.
I'll try. I'll
No, I'm just
try
gonna
and
explain it in a
mediate.
funny way.
Sorry.
Good luck.
I'll
I'll mute myself, but like I'll be back when I'm finally back. I literally have to go out in the rain.
All right, the cat's gone. Let's riot. Okay. So, I feel like the safer work question's probably almost not redundant, but it's almost we're looking for things to dissect with it. But to be honest,
Yeah, it's like it's a case by case basis at that point. As long as it's like if it's
Yeah.
suspicious, it's case by case. Like otherwise, just like fucking ignore it.
I guess
Yeah.
for me, it's the sort of thing, even with the example you use. So let's say we have the Powerpuff Girls and they're quote unquote aged up, but they still look like the Powerpuff Girls and they have a kid. It's the kind of thing that, yeah, if it's done with intent, I think you're kind of weird. But if it's just a skill issue, like, bruh. And I'm
Although
inclined to
it-
believe it's a skill issue.
If the Powerpuff Girls have a kid, like when I think of that, I think of them just like with a kid and the kid is smaller than them. Like
You know what?
like,
Actually, let me send you the comics that I saw if
okay,
I can find them.
because when I think of that, I think of like where the design of the Powerpuff Girl has been refashioned into the default adult design, and like when you look at it, like the kid looks like a kid compared to that design, or is it a matter of like the kid looks exactly like them because they are both kids in the context of this world?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that is so dependent on situation.
Yeah.
It'll totally depend on how the artist depicts the dynamic.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we use codifiers for. That's why we've got, like, child-coded whatever.
I was
like,
greeted by Lumi one day. It was like, how's my favorite child-coded artist? And I had an aneurysm. I was so mad. Alright, let's...
Yeah, as someone who looks very young...
Yeah.
I don't appreciate...
You don't look old enough to drink, therefore you may not drink.
Yeah, therefore I am not old enough to drink. Yeah, as someone who looks kind of young, I don't appreciate the notion that any character with child codifiers cannot be whatever, like, shipped or sexualized in any way. I understand, like, you know, the child codifiers to such an extent that you're just like, that's a child. But that if people get to such a degree where they're like, oh, shortness is a child codifier. Oh shit, what's it called? Oh shit. Oh, what is it? What's the opposite of maturity?
Immaturity.
Oh, there's a better word for it, but whatever. Immaturity is a child codifier or whatever. Big eyes are a child codifier. Like it gets
all
ridiculous.
Of anime gets canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And it's also we wouldn't do it in reverse. Like if someone looked older than they are, I'm just gonna fucking leave that hanging there for a second because I'm having war flashbacks to the number of people. It's like, well, they looked like they were an adult, so it was okay. It's like, no, you wouldn't give a child alcohol because they look like they're over 18.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
actually, having
okay.
said that, you probably would give children alcohol. You would give children alcohol if they looked over 18, like by accident. Or if you're in America, for a totally not real example, and where their laws are different.
Oh yeah, totally not real example.
Yeah, totally not real example of giving someone who is over the age of 18 alcohol because American rules are stupid. That didn't happen. I didn't do that. Shh. We were visiting.
Dun,
It's different.
You better hope and pray that I never expose you someday.
No, it's not like I'm saying this publicly. Anyway, next question. So we can actually move on. So this is the same question, except it is specific for not safe for work that isn't sexual. So that includes things like horror, gore, death, taxes, I guess. So how...
Taxes!
Oh, look, they're pretty horrifying. I don't know what to tell you.
horror! Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, so what are your feelings on works that are not safe for work, but not sexual? Involving kids.
Yeah, go for
that
it.
have been aged up.
I feel like that's already like a lot of the media. Like you see it in Attack on Titan, you see it in like Spider-Verse. Like that most characters are like kids and they get put in like you see it in Evangelion. Holy shit.
Yeah, they get put through. Well, it's like we said earlier, kids are like effectively the largest YouTube audience, but that's because they are one of the largest viewing audiences outside of like young adults. That's why they're always marketed to. Plus, it's also, again, projection, but it helps because teenagers and kids have more difficulty projecting onto adult characters because they haven't experienced what those adult characters have experienced.
Yeah.
So they can't relate to them. Whereas adults and people older can relate to kid characters and teen characters a lot easier because they've gone through those experiences. And if those teen characters are experiencing things that are comparable or even like downright the same or similar to things that those people have experienced, they're going to relate to and project onto those characters a lot more.
I think it's
or maybe they hate themselves, so they're going to hate the character.
Yeah, mood. I think it's also interesting.
I guess my general stance on this is
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my general stance is it already happens, but I do feel like at like a certain point, like especially like the levels that like Evangelion goes to, like I feel like some of it does go too far. Because okay, I know everyone does the violence in video games doesn't affect real life. Like look at all these clowns reporting on it. But like in the psych field, actually, there's been like an ongoing study if if or not media consumption, especially violent media consumption, is affecting people. And the results are that in short term, they actually do. What they did was, So I think, have you guys heard of it before? Like the
I had to do a paper on this, so yeah.
But yeah, it was like they had people watch like a bunch of like violent things, and then they had them do like pick how much sriracha sauce they wanted to give someone who hated sriracha sauce, and then they gauged on that how aggressive this person was being. So like short term, there is actually an effect there. Long term though, we haven't had enough studies to like determine if or not like that actually exists. But like it is a concern. Yeah.
I mean, that's a concern with anything new. Like, in general, we've had generations now that are being brought up with social media almost. And, like, what the fuck is that gonna do to... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
I can tell you what it does to people.
Every generation seems to be, like... nowadays, especially because like everything is progressing so much faster, every generation is presented with a completely new set of problems that the previous generation didn't have to deal with, and we are just completely unprepared for what it's going to do to that generation going forward.
But see, now we've kind of veered away from the topic of specifically children in these situations to just violent media in general, which is a whole other fucking can of worms.
Oh wait, shit, that's right. Well, I mean, because like most violent media at this point like is like centered around children, like because it's all children characters. So like especially like shit like the Promised Neverland or.
Bruh, I fucking live for that shit. Well, season 1 anyway. I don't know what the fuck happened with season 2. But, okay, actually, maybe that's a good example, because I was gonna say, Evangelion probably isn't a great example of violence in media with children, because while there is, mecha fights and whatnot, it's mostly about depression. And The Promised Neverland, to an extent, is similar in that regard, because it's not about violence. It's about, trust and authority figures and all that type of shit.
I mean...
So it's like, would you say, because you were saying like, oh, it can have an impact on children with violence and whatnot, but it's like neither of those animes actually display that. So is it still questionable, concerning? Like, is it bad to show kids in terrible situations at all? Like,
okay, that's where like the tricky part is, right? Because when I'm thinking about Evangelion, like, okay, big spoiler to anyone who hasn't seen Evangelion, fucking click off if you haven't seen it. One of the end scenes of the movie, the rewrite of the movie, was one of the characters, Asuka, like, gets her fucking mech ripped apart, and then she gets, fucking torn apart and eaten, by the angels.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm, like, thinking about when I'm saying, like, violence in media. I'm not saying, like, any bad situation, because that would be fucking stupid. Like, censor everything? No. But you're allowed to, like, show kids in, I guess like bad situations, like tough spots. It's just I don't think we've found a good balance between what is acceptable and like what we should probably be wary of.
I'm a little see, that's where I'm confused, because you use the example where Asuka gets her shit absolutely rocked. But what would be the real world impact of that? Because it's not depicting something that A, could happen in real life, and B, it's depicting just something bad happening. Like, because the angels are not human, it's not an act of violence that you could equate to the real world. Like, you're talking about a giant ripping someone apart, essentially. So what impact does that have on kids other than maybe scaring them?
Plus, what kid is watching that?
You're right, Evangelion is fucking terrible and they shouldn't watch it, but go on. It's bad for other reasons. It's boring. I'm sorry, I'm about to go off.
Let's not talk about the other reasons right now. I think I'll have
an
aneurysm.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of things that are questionable in Evangelion, I think it's all the naked children, would be my first concern. You can rip that child to shreds as far as I'm concerned, but put a shirt on her first. Thank you very much.
Please. I guess you do have a point there. I'm not gonna like argue something that I'm not like too familiar with.
I'm more just trying to pick your brain on it.
Oh, well, I mean, because, okay, how do I explain this? Like, usually in my psych classes, like, we've been talking about how sometimes even just the appearance or, like, the, how do you say it? The fact that, like, a gun is nearby can increase violent tendencies. So like it's something that I feel like has to be studied a bit more before we can conclusively define what isn't and isn't quite appropriate. But like generally, like if you want to like fucking, I don't know, tear apart children, like feed them into like a demon, like generally I'll be like, it's like fine, I guess, but like I'm a little bit wary. That's kind of like treading the line a bit for me.
Although I will also say another point in this is that Evangelion isn't for kids. That's another thing. Like we're talking about like
That's
what
definitely
it
more
might
adult.
yeah, we're talking about what might affect kids and whatnot. But Evangelion.
But I mean, like here's the thing though, right? Like so many kids are watching Evangelion though, right? Because we can't pretend that they're not.
But again, that we come back to that issue. It's like, okay, does that just mean that, because that's beyond the internet now, that's media, that's full-on media release,
Yeah,
real
that was
world.
happening before the internet.
Yeah, that was like watching
I
on
stayed
tapes back in the basement days.
I
So,
used to stay up to watch like Spawn at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. and I was 8.
exactly.
I was not supposed to be watching the
I was watching
Spawn
Happy Tree
animated
Friends
series.
in my brother's basement when I was like
I mean,
10.
like here's the
but-
thing though, like just because like we experienced that doesn't mean it's like a good thing.
Okay, but no,
necessarily.
see,
'Cause,
that's
like, everyone that
I have to
We're
get
not-
through
no, we're
this.
not
Let me
saying it's
let me finish my
we're not
point.
saying it's good. Sorry.
So I can actually ask this, because this is kind of fundamental to what Stream is saying a lot of the time, is, so we've gone beyond the internet now, and we're talking about day-to-day life almost. Does that just mean that adults cannot adult at any point in time because children will see it?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite the point that I would be standing for. Like, it's just the fact that I don't think we have enough safeguards currently in place for like, because like before, like you would have to like go to like fucking stores to buy magazines, and they would probably have something like checking an ID or like
Oh, honey.
buying alcohol. They if you don't look old enough, they'll check your ID and like they'll do shit. Like we have those safeguards in real life for these things that kids shouldn't be touching. But when it comes to the internet, like especially like with anime and like stuff like that stuff is just on Crunchyroll, and like you don't need to like be over 18 or whatever to like watch it. You can just watch it if
But
you have an
that's-
account. Or, like
That's even outside of the pro or anti-ship stuff. Like you could just search up straight porn. Like
Yeah.
we don't have to. Kids don't have to look into the pro or anti stuff for them to come across things
that's
like
true.
that.
Like okay, I guess at this point like it's like straying a lot further from like the pro anti-ship and just like my concerns with like, are we doing like, has the
It's
internet
just a
like
matter that the
evolved?
internet's not safe.
Yeah, like it's not evolved far enough for like A, kids to have this much like access to it, and like B, like there's no safeguards anywhere, so that this is like just a melting pot disaster.
But see, I feel like this is actually kind of a good example of how the anti and pro stuff does get so volatile so quickly, is people are having different conversations. Because we
Yes.
started out talking about like, oh, well, is aging up characters for the purpose of horror ethical, like an okay? And that's veered into a topic of how do we protect children from Evangelion? Like, it's so
well, we
quickly...
need to protect children from Evangelion. That shit is so
It's
messed
ju-
up.
well, it's not even messed up, it's just fucking bad anime. And I'm just trying to upset my chat at this point. Fight me. But my point is, it so quickly develops into a different conversation that almost completely misses the original point. And then people also use that, they get behind that bigger conversation, be like, and that's why you're a bad person. It's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did
Oh,
we get from
God.
A to B so quickly is the problem.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, we should probably like return to.
Well, that's the thing, because we got onto the topic of how to protect kids from media, when the original topic was, is it okay for kids to be depicted in horror media? For adults.
That's kind of the problem, right? Like it's just like the general question. Like you need the context around it. Like in general, like if it's like for adult work, like fucking go off, do whatever the hell you want. But like when you're aware that kids like have ready access to this material, that becomes like a whole different conversation, right?
But at that point, it's like, because it's tricky, because we're trying to discuss media that is made by adults for adults with the express purpose of it, being viewed by adults, and then we trying to discuss the ethics of what's in that media, and then inevitably we come back to and also, by the way, kids might see it, and that's a whole other dimension.
That is where I was misunderstanding. I was like assuming that this is like just like in the general public sphere and not like specifically talking about like for adults and made by adults.
Well, no, if it's horror content and we're talking about murder and all that stuff, I mean, there is like kids' version of murder, Disney. But
Five Nights at Freddy's.
yeah,
The Kids Bop version of murder.
Yeah, come on, we all know it. But yeah, no, I was specifically discussing dark media that's made by adults for adults that has aged up characters in it. Like, let's come back to a more specific internet kind of space. Let's talk about fan fiction. So, you know, you take, fuck, what's a child character? Give me a child character. Frisk?
Frisk is a good one.
Alright, so let's take Frisk and we age them up and now they're on crack cocaine. Is that morally wrong?
I would say no, because what if the right had a parent who was on crack cocaine, or a sibling who was on crack cocaine, or they were on crack cocaine and they relate to Frisk?
I don't even think they need the justification for it. Like, say I decided I'm going to write a story about Frisk succumbing to the addiction of crack cocaine and getting evicted from just having the worst adult experience. Say I sit down and write that fan fiction. I have not experienced crack cocaine. I don't have the money for it. And I have written this fanfiction in which Frisk is absolutely miserable in these adult situations. Is that morally wrong because I've taken a character that was a child and aged them up for that purpose?
No.
Probably not. Like, assuming this is obviously in adult spaces.
Okay, so kids shouldn't read about crack cocaine addiction?
Not they shouldn't read about crack cocaine addiction. It just, as long as it's being handled respectfully, like as long as it's not like how smoking is like romanticized in media, as long as it's like not that kind of shit.
I'm so sorry. I just saw someone in chat say, Mali, are you trying to give us a crap help? Blink twice if yes.
I think actually one of the issues, what do we do with kids in high school when we are tasking them with reading books with complex moral themes? What do we do?
I mean, like, okay, I feel like we should
seriously,
some capacity
what do we
slowly.
Do?
Yeah,
we
no,
quiz them on it.
Like, we should like slowly introduce kids to like more complex topics over their lifetime. I just don't think it's a good idea to like throw them in the deep end like once they hit high school. That's a horrible idea. That's the thing. That's
not what I'm saying. I'm saying we're not teaching them media literacy for the fan fictions they're reading. Like the books that we teach kids in high school are like specifically pre-picked and determined by the school curriculum as like, yes, we want them to read this because the teachers are going to teach them this based on this material. Fan fiction is a fucking crapshoot, and it's written by people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Children just suck that in because it sustains this fantasy that they've got brewing in the background, but we don't have any means of media literacy to like help them navigate all this weird shit.
I will also say
that's kind of... Sorry. You go first.
I was going to say, there's also that question, because we kind of have two different worlds butting up against each other, which is your day-to-day touch grass, and then the online space. And I have this issue with basically every topic that comes between the two is the double standard between the two. Because the books that kids are given in high school, they range anything from The Hunger Games, which is all about killing children, up to Animal Farm and like George Orwell, 1985. And these are objectively darker topics than most of the shit you find online. But they're surprisingly absent from these conversations. It's always about fan works and fan fiction, and that frustrates me.
I guess in some respects, maybe it's because those authors who wrote those books, like they have the teachers to guide them into like how to like read this text, and like B, it's I guess been reviewed enough that the general message, even with all the darker topics, isn't like a bad takeaway message for the kids. Whereas online, like this is like the whole thing again. There's just nothing online. The internet is advancing too fast for like real life to catch up, and that's
absolutely
kind of a problem.
I think we all kind of agree with that, but see, that's a larger topic of how we control the space and that kind of thing, and that's pretty much out of our hands, like individually. But see, again, my frustration is because we all agree on that topic. But my frustration is it comes into other topics. It like creeps in without people even realizing that's what they're talking about now. So it's like I can sit here and say, okay, let's I'm going back to Orwell because that's what I remember enjoying in high school. So kids can read Orwell and have all these dark topics, and everyone's like, yep, above board, that's fine, that's fine. But as soon as an online creator does something similar, suddenly it's like, how can you subject our children to this? And I say our children, keeping in mind most of the people protesting are actually children. And for me, it comes across a lot more as blind double standard, and also, I can attack this person, but I can't attack fucking Orwell. It feels opportunistic.
I would actually like to point something out with regards to like bad things happening to children in media and like whether or not that should be allowed. I think things should be allowed in media if it could feasibly happen in real life. And like I'm not saying like you like, oh, you know, angels eating Asuka or whatever. That could totally happen, therefore it's it should no. I'm talking about like over in the West, we are very isolated and insulated from the horrors that some people experience on a daily basis. Like, there are child soldiers in places in the world.
Yeah.
We've got, like, actual human slavery still going. There's human trafficking. Like, terrible things can happen. And unfortunately, terrible things do happen to kids every single day. And I think it's a disservice to say that somebody can't write about those stories, because what if, like, it's similar with horror. Like, I like horror because horror helps me address the aspects of the world that I'm afraid of, which is basically all of the world. So what if somebody has I don't know, a fear of, well, for example, like drawing from my own fears, what if somebody had a fear of becoming a parent and then down the line losing that child? They might then focus on horror that focuses around the loss of children. And in some cases, the horror elements that they decide to include might be really graphic imagery. And like, I feel like that has a place in life. Sometimes things are gonna make you uncomfortable, they're gonna scare you, but for other people, the things that are gonna make you uncomfortable are gonna comfort them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. I think that's this question covered. I mean, I could sit here and also actually I'll bitch about Game of Thrones later. I'll bitch about that later because that's very much sexual. Again, my issue isn't like that people should like Game of Thrones because I think it's kind of trash. My issue is like people are okay with it because it's like formal media. It's like, yeah, this is fine, but if I see someone online doing this, I call them a nonce and then just anyway, that I will surely bitch about that later.
You know what? This might actually, the double standard thing might actually go back to the whole the fact that like media in general has been socially accepted at this point, whereas the internet has until recently not been socially acceptable. It's like
Well, I think it's just people don't think about it. It's like, oh, this is, you know, on my TV. It's been approved.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem. Like we already default to, oh, if it's like in general media, oh, it must be fine. But like if it's online, like immediate skepticism is what follows.
I mean, we did
Which,
literally
given
just
the
cover
idol is a thing.
Vampire Night and Kiss Kiss
about
Fall in
Vampire
Love.
Night.
And
Don't do
Orin
it.
and Orin High School both having either flavors of incest or just outright incest, and that's allowed to exist without people freaking the fuck out. But I think another thing that gets me about that is this is the media that, and I'm talking about kids here, young people consume, and then they create content similar to that media, and people turn around and be like, you fucking nonce, how could you do this? It's like, bro, I just watched this on TV. I just saw this, and it was, you're a fan of the same property as me. Why am I in trouble? And what?
Yep.
Like, I feel that's very, like, I can see kids getting just completely taken off guard by that.
Yep.
So I will ask the next question, so we can derail again. Alright, so same question, but this time we're including sex. How do we feel about aging characters up? It's amazing to me how we can cover dismemberment and crack cocaine, but as soon as it comes to sex, the conversation completely fucking changes.
Right, well, okay, that's the thing, right? Like, because most of these things that we talked about before, like, especially like with the extreme violence, that's not stuff that like will touch normal people.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's particularly true. Like, okay, we're not going to get eaten by an angel, but I could get...
The general population that, like, consumes that kind of media, like, they're not going to, like, get dismembered or, like,
You don't watch enough true crime. You don't watch enough true crime!
But unless you're aged, you're probably gonna do sexies at some point.
Yeah, but sex is
Could
like
not be me,
almost like
but-
a guaranteed part of everyone's life, which is why I feel like we need to treat it like
I
specifically.
can't.
With
I
a bit
can't
more
believe
care
that
than everyone
Streamline
else.
Workshop is virgin shaming. I can't believe this. How could
What do
you?
you mean?
Anyway, sorry, I'm just being a bitch.
I'm going to strangle you next VidCon. You better watch out.
I thought you said, didn't you just say violence doesn't typically happen to people? Don't strangle me. You'll be
I said
proving yourself
extreme
wrong.
Violence. I said extreme violence.
Okay.
My
Is-
violence will only be passive.
I will have mediocre violence.
I specifically stated just okay. We're going to move on.
Okay. All right. Let me clarify the question a bit more, just so that we're all on the same page. So let's go by example, because I think we all agree that it's based on situation a lot of the time. So let's say we're gonna use Frisk again, because fuck it,
Oh,
that's what I
God.
know how to work with. So
Frisk is a great example.
Frisk is a good example. So
I don't
I'm
like
actually
this
gonna use
conversation anymore.
Streamfield's called out. I'm gonna use an actual fan fiction and webcomic that exists of Frisk. Frisk has been aged up to I think they're like mid-20s, late 20s.
Just tell me the AU.
I don't remember the
Oh,
name.
is
I'm
this
not.
the one with the
It's the
it
mafia.
Razzle?
It's the mafia one.
mafia? That
The
I've
mafia?
seen that one.
That's the one you choose?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually quite a good example, I think, because it
Mali
includes.
likes dominant monster.
Okay,
I
now
can
now
tell.
listen. What? No.
No,
I'm not even
listening
in
to
this
anything
fandom.
else
What
you
are you
have to
doing?
say.
Wait, my point is, Frisk in that anime, in that web comic series, whatever, has been aged up to a young or middle-aged person. I'm actually not 100% on their age. And they are experiencing the horrors of adulthood, being extorted for protection money and whatnot. And then on top of that, there is sex with a monster. So, did I actually get to this? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is that morally wrong?
Okay,
No.
so I feel like the argument with video game characters does get a little more tricky because most of the time, like unless it's like with established properties like Zelda or Mario or whatever, like unless there's like a pre-established personality for these characters, you don't typically register video game characters as like a separate entity.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
you
true, but
project
we're
onto them.
working. All right, let's work on the premise that I'm going to change the narrative a bit to make this easier. Work on the premise that Frisk is canonically in the game 100%. Toby got up and with their full chest said it. 5 years old in the game.
Okay, well that's the problem, right? Okay, that's the other problem that I have with this. Like, Toby did get up and say it, and it wasn't until Chris that everyone started paying attention. Okay.
I'm
okay,
sorry, I don't know
fine.
the deep lore. All right, maybe we can't use Undertale as an example. Stream is going to have an aneurysm, but a character, canonically 5, has now been aged up to a 25-year-old dealing with crack cocaine and sex with a monster. Is that morally wrong?
No. Maybe it's just because the character we're citing as an example is specifically a player insert character, which makes me think that this is more the writer's fantasy going forward.
I'm going to actually
Yeah,
grab
I
the
don't think
visual
that's morally wrong.
for people, because I feel like a big part of this conversation is if the Frisk in the story translates into an adult for the audience, which I would
I mean,
argue
like,
this one
yeah,
definitely does. So let me...
Yeah.
Frisk is
Uh,
definitely...
Stream,
Yeah,
what
I
is
can
the
agree,
name
like,
of this
Frisk is
AU?
definitely an adult.
You have the deep
in
lore?
that, but like I guess like my problem is because just
I'm just gonna put
under
Mafia
what
AU.
circumstance, because Frisk is pretty clearly like portrayed in game as like tiny child. Like they get called kid at every other turn. It's just how do people ignore that kind of context? It's like the same. Okay, and I know B might like rip into me a little bit for this one, but like it's like my same problem with My Hero Academia. They're so clearly children in a children's setting, and at every corner, at every turn, they're obviously children. And when the author does, if the author like how do you like ignore that kind of introduction and just, I guess, decide, oh no, I think this would be better if they were aged up so I could do specifically NSFW things with them.
Alright, hold
Like
on.
you had to like look at this character first and be like, oh yeah, this is like, you know, as an adult I would fuck.
Alright, hold on. I have the image for everyone on chat, just to give you guys... I want to show them what we're talking about specifically so they have a better visual. Let me
Yeah.
grab another one real quick.
I need to then ask you a question. Have you ever seen someone draw gushy mushy art of a character who, within the original canonical media, is a serial killer, sociopath, or genocidal murderer.
Yeah, and like that's I kind of question the creepypasta fandom at times for that, or like
We're just gonna come out and
in
say it.
general.
The point is, in fantasy settings, people like even in real life, people can ignore aspects about others that they dislike. And in fantasy settings, it's a lot easier because for a character that doesn't exist, if you want to ignore an aspect about that character that you don't like, in your headcanon of that character, that aspect no longer exists.
I mean, I feel like when we're talking about this kind of thing, though, you seem to like be more focused on like the artistic and like the individual aspect of like the person actually like creating this kind of content. What I'm more concerned about usually when it comes to this conversation is, the consumer. Like especially because like it's just we can't really argue that teenagers are very over-sexualized at this point. It's an uncomfortable fact. I fucking hate it. I wish it didn't exist. I don't want that to like move on to like, because like these characters are supposed to be representing these kids and like.
Well, I want to quickly draw you back into the base situation, like scenario, because we're veering into generalized topics of sexualization of minors, which I think most of us agree on, which is why I want to focus on a specific example so that we're very clear with what we're saying. So again, chat just saw the images I threw up. I'll throw them. Imagine there is an adult and they like a child character for nonce reasons, but to get around that, they age them up. Which is definitely a thing. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't like that lens being applied to everything, especially in instances that feel so clear-cut to me, because regardless of feelings on Frisk and that sort of thing, that comic, that character, they are adults. There's no and if or but about it. Because sometimes the argument is, well, they're aged up, but they're still a child because of the source material. And I think that's stupid as shit.
That is the dumbest. I hate that argument. The way art works is to take things that exist and to change them to fit your view of whatever you want to create. I absolutely hate when an artist has actively made changes to change the nature of a tool or a piece, in this case a character, by altering their design, and people stubbornly continue to treat it as though it is still the original. Like out of spite almost, they refuse to acknowledge the artist's design differentiations and like how that changes the way the character should be interpreted.
What's the same thing as
they decide to ignore it.
It's the same thing as Yandere Dev's situation, where it's like, if it quacks, if it quacks like a duck and it flaps like a duck, then it's a fucking duck. But it's almost the reverse side of it. It's like, Yandere Dev's sitting there going, no, they're not teenagers, but we can all very clearly see that in every way they are a teenager, except him saying it. And then the reverse
in middle school, not even high school.
Yeah, they're fucking kids. Anyway, but then the reverse of that is like, this character is visually an adult, they have an adult life, they pay their taxes, they're like, everything they do is an adult. And then you have someone in the corner going, but they're a child though. It's like, no, you're just fucking wrong. And it's the same thing, just in reverse.
I guess as someone who like used to be on like that side of the argument way back when, I can kind of understand, especially when it comes to kids who are like seeing like very young characters being like aged up, because the initial thought process would be, okay, well, you were introduced to this character as a kid, you got to know him as a kid, you know all that, you have all this context, but you still decided to age them up?
Yes. Yes. I guess as well, I mean, again, if they didn't age them up, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. Especially because the focal character, as B has said a few times, the focal character tends to be the projection character. In which case, it's like, they're like, okay, I am attracted to X, Y, Z, and this is my comfort character. Let's make this work. And then they proceed. But
okay, Toasty Cheese, I'm going to have to stop you right there. There's so much context that is still... Okay, I can do this on my own channel now. Okay.
Oh, you okay, fan?
Please continue.
You okay? Oh, it's like Yandere Dev mentioned.
No, I'm not okay because people keep
Yandere Dev is my go-to for this.
They're so clearly...
Okay, deep breaths, stream. Oh god, yeah, Yandere Dev is my favorite go-to mention of this, especially because of that comment I got recently, where they're like, actually, it's not a high school, it's just designed to look and function like one. I'm like, then it's a fucking high school! I'm sorry, I'm still mad. I'm still fucking mad, that's so stupid.
Okay, well, we can take a lot of low shots at Yandere Dev.
And I will!
The fruit on the ground.
Yeah, it's the lowest of fruit, this is true. But it's such a good example. Yeah, so anyway, right, fast forward. I guess the next question would be, okay, let's say we have Frisk again, as Frisk is our little subject here. Let's say...
Are you trying to put me in the hospital, Mali?
I'm trying to kill you, this is true. I need one more room free at VidCon.
Mali needs to kill one of us, and you're the one that's given her the ammo.
You're bleeding, I can sense it. No, so let's say Frisk in the canon, so they've left the underground or whatever the fuck, and they've gone up to the real world, and the game then inexplicably for some terrible reason continues, and Frisk becomes an adult within that story. Is it then fine for Frisk to have sex?
Like in canon?
Well, and fanworks.
I mean, I guess like this kind of loops. Okay, counter example to this. Attack on Titan, where all the characters do end as adults. Like they start as like fucking teenagers and they end as adults. Like if you want to like fuck them like by the end of the series, fucking go ahead, I guess.
Okay, so basically, maybe Harry Potter's a better example because they do actually end as adults. So they've ended as adults, they have kids, all that jazz. So canonically, they have fucked. In fanworks, is it then okay to have sexual scenes with them when they're adults?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So why is it different for Frisk? In the
Because Frisk never ages in the story.
But see, that's my thing. It's like, okay, it didn't age in the story, so we can never perceive Frisk as an adult.
Yeah, that goes back
okay,
to
I guess here's my thoughts on that. It's like, it's okay. How do I put this into words?
Alright, wait, hold on. You think for a second, B answer, and let me very, very quickly say something to chat. Yandere Sim is a dumpster fire. Incorrect tense, my friend. Go ahead, B.
I was gonna say, that just goes back to, like, you can't portray something if it wasn't portrayed by the original creator.
And that's what I'm getting at.
If the original creator didn't portray the character as an adult, then it's inappropriate to portray the character as an adult or any situation where they would be engaging in adult things as an adult. It's just like it's unnecessarily restrictive, especially because, like, what if the people who grew up with this character want to imagine the character aged to the same degree as them?
I mean, I feel like that is like a separate argument for. Okay, well, not separate argument, but like that is like understandable to a degree. Like I've seen like some of my friends go through that.
But then, like, what if the reason they age up the character is because they had a crush on the character as a child, and they want to go through with their crush now that they are an adult, and they can visualize the character as an adult, having grown up alongside them?
Okay, I feel like that is a bit of a different field for me than someone who was introduced as an adult to a character that is a child who then decided, oh, I want to age up this child character. Because from my perspective, you're introduced to this character like in the source material, just, you know, not adult. Yeah, you can. I will not argue that people can envision this character as an adult, but like, okay, and I hate to keep linking back to this, Mali, but like that this is like where all of my problems like start with this whole I guess debate is in the public eye. This character is still, you know, X years of age, like still child, and like it's just.
Well, see, I disagree with that. I think that's dumb. The character is not X years of age, X years old. The character isn't real and therefore doesn't age. The character is only as old as whenever the first time the artist created them was. The artist has merely designed them to perhaps reflect a particular age, and that on a case-by-case basis, that depends completely on how well the artist has achieved that reflection. Think, similar to viewing them as tools, you can view characters like actors. If you're watching a horror movie where you're watching teenage characters get killed and mutilated and have sex and whatnot, but those teenage characters are played by adults, you're not going to have a problem with it because the portrayal is an adult. Like, they may be trying to convince you that they are a teenager, but objectively you can see that the thing that is portraying the teenager is not, even if they're very convincing. Now,
Actually,
in
I
that
will-
same manner,
Sorry, go ahead.
like you can have artistic styles that very well convey or very clearly convey a character's age, and then you can have styles where a character's age maybe isn't that well conveyed, and that also can change on a case-by-case basis depending on the viewer and how they interpret that character's design individually.
I think this was a good example that someone in chat has pulled out. In the context of this topic, what do you think of the cancelled live-action Powerpuff Girls reboot? During the whole controversy, some people have said the story is pedophilic in nature because the girls being 5 in canon. And I think that's a pretty good example because that is a, let's say, fan work. It's not from the original creator. It's a totally different medium. And it's depicting those 3 girls aged up to, 20-somethings. And let's say, because I think it was a CW show or something, they're gonna have the stupidest, dumbest of sex. Is that morally wrong because they're aging those characters up?
Oh yeah, like
It's
like
the same
Riverdale and
thing.
Archie too.
It's the same thing. It's fan works aging up characters that, and let's just pretend it's out and they had sex, for the sake of sexualizing them. I mean, it was
It's
morally
just,
wrong
like,
because it was a
legal fan
trash...
work.
It was morally wrong because it was a trash show, but let's pretend it wasn't.
Wait, are we talking about the Cartoon Network reboot?
No, the live-action reboot the CW put forward.
Oh my god, I actually haven't looked into that one, so I can't really give a comment.
Okay,
They
it
were gonna
doesn't...
do like a live action reboot of the Powerpuff Girls where they were young adults, and it was gonna be kind of like Riverdale but the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the actual specifics of it don't matter that much. It's more the scenario. So you have these 5-year-old... Actually, how old are the Powerpuff? Were they 5?
They are canonically
They're in
like 5 or
kindergarten,
6.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they're in
these
kindergarten.
5-year-old characters, these 5-year-old girls have been aged up to adults to have sex in a TV show. Is that morally wrong?
Yeah, totally different show creators, not the original creators.
Yeah, so it's a fan work in which 5-year-old child
It's
characters
just
are
illegal
aged
fan
up.
work.
Yeah, have been aged up to have sex. Like, at the end of the day, like, in this, again, they age up to have other stuff happen in the show, but I assume they will have sex because it's a CW show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
in this framework, it's the exact same situation. The only difference is one is live action. So visually
I guess
and in
personally,
portrayal,
I would still be a little bit like put off because the original premise is that it's kindergartners like fighting fucking giant monsters. Like at that point, like why not make an original show? Why fall back on this IP that was
well, money in this
very-
instance, but I feel like B, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like B. Oh, holy shit! What is that sound?
there's a plane flying over.
Oh, I got so worried. I feel like both of us agree that it's totally fine for you to go, ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have no issue with that.
but it can justify people like harassing artists off
Oh
the
no!
internet.
Okay. I have to clear that up right now. Don't fucking harass people. That never helps anything. Jesus Christ.
Well, not even harassment,
Anybody
but
who does that's a piece of shit.
to make a moral judgment of character, even like not harassing someone, but to be like, oh, all right, let's not mince words here. To imply someone is a pedo for that. Which
Yeah.
a lot of, and like Stream would never, but a lot of the more vicious people online will turn around and be like,
Ugh.
confirmed nonce, and it's like, hold on,
Yeah.
no.
People are
Yeah.
stupid and spiteful.
Yeah, a lot of it, it's like, I don't believe they actually believe what they're saying, it's just they can find a high horse.
It's an easy term to throw around to crucify someone that you
Absolutely.
don't like.
Yeah, they can turn
Yep.
around and be like, I'm going to say these horrible things about you, and I can say that because I am morally superior to you. And it's like, shut the fuck up. I will beat you to within an inch of your life. I don't give a shit about morals. I will end you. Your bloodline will end with me.
Your bloodline ends with me.
No fucking mercy for that shit. So yeah, stream's not one of those people, but that's why I kind of have to dive into it a bit harder than I typically would, because a lot of people do use it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, those people need to like sit down and actually have a discussion rather than just yelling at people.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong, and I've said this to a lot of people, especially after the Age Up video, because I have to reiterate this to people. It's like, you can feel icky about this. You can look at that and go, huh. You can totally fucking do that. Lord knows I do. Like, the idea of, I'm using the Powerpuff Girls again, because I grew up with the Powerpuff Girls, and the idea of them in a sexual situation in a CW show, huh. But it doesn't, yeah, it's like, oh god, no. But that's not a moral statement. That's not a, oh, you're a nonce for this. That's a, huh. That's a gut reaction, and I think that's totally fine. It's just when people get up there and start being like, you're a bad person for this. Or it says something deeper about you, and I'm like, hold on, that's just wrong.
Especially because, like, you don't know what that artist individually has been through. Like, I understand the immediate ick with regards to, like, drawing sexual stuff with characters, but the problem I have with that is, like, the sad reality of, like, we've talked about people projecting onto characters and how they work through their trauma with and through those characters. The sad reality of life is that some people's trauma is sexual in nature, and they are going to explore a sexual trauma through characters if it makes them feel more comfortable and safer in exploring that trauma.
But as we all know, the internet, and specifically Twitter, is where nuance comes to fucking die.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, like that goes like into like actually like the whole other argument that I brought up in our chats before. It's like people who create that sort of thing, like I'm just not gonna touch that because that's their trauma to deal with, not my fucking place. But the people who like actively are consuming that kind of content, especially if it's like for the trauma, like the trauma P, like it becomes again like the issue of it shouldn't be this widely available, and like you probably shouldn't put it on Twitter.
Guys, tag your shit.
I completely agree with that.
Tag your shit. It should be put it in the right spaces.
There should be better websites for this. Like, my immediate thought is websites like Rule 34, but that really doesn't seem like the best place.
No,
well,
like,
I'm
sure Rule 34 is full of degenerates.
Well, that's the problem.
I'm sure there are better spots. I don't know about them, and maybe other people.
Well, a lot of the problem with that is any space that is actively open to adult material, people automatically just dismiss it as, oh, it's Pornhub. They're like, oh, that's not an actual social media. So it's weird. To a certain extent, a social media that doesn't allow minors into it almost is shooting itself in the foot in the public eye, because people go, oh, well, that's just degenerate. So then it becomes an instance
like the
where
problem, right?
Yeah, but that becomes an instance where it's like, okay, so an adult artist, performer, whatever, they can't grow on any platform unless it is, you know, a seedy degenerate place by virtue of lack of children, and it makes an impossible situation.
Yeah.
But that's a different fucking problem.
That's just the world depressing, and like none of us can do anything.
That's just up like, damn, that sucks. Even like I've had this issue as well, where we're thinking about moving the Discord to an 18+ only server, and one of the only reasons I haven't done that already is because the moment you slap 18+ on something, people immediately think, oh, so like I can be degenerate, I can be not safe for work. It's like, no, I just don't want children here. That doesn't mean you can behave like a fucking loser. So yeah, it is. As soon as you slap 18+ on something, people automatically think sex. And it's like, no, I'm talking about horror, you twat. That, or I just don't want a child near me. Like,
oh god, guys, expose Mali. She has an 18+ channel in her Discord server. She's grooming minors. Get her.
That's actually so relatable. I can't tell you how many times I've been referring to stuff as like not safe for work or 18+ in a horror context, and then people completely take it a different way, and I'm just like, wait, like, do you even know what I'm arguing about at this point? And then they go off into a tangent and just like, that oh my god, that wasn't even close to what I was talking about, but you go off, honey.
I kind of have a feeling the reason that is the way it is because as a collective species we are so A, repressed, and B, like shy about that thing. So it's like, oh, if it's 18 plus, then it must be referring to this thing we cannot speak of.
Yeah.
we're just
Thou
a
shalt
whole
not be named.
we're just a whole bunch of very repressed idiots, and we're taking that out on
Yeah.
everyone around us. There, that's the internet in a nutshell. Oh, my next question.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night. We can leave now. Have some sex if you're an adult. Have fun. There, Mali's message to you all. If you're an adult, fuck. So my next question, and this is a fun one because I say fun because it's about to get very uncomfortable. So, thoughts on minors shipping minor characters?
I think that's perfectly normal.
Fucking
I
go
think they should
ahead.
be
Why
like,
is that a
Exactly.
problem?
Exactly. See, that's the initial response. But then you come online and people are like, how fucking dare you? This is pedophilia. How dare you,
yeah.
14-year-old, ship another 14-year-old
Kill
with...
yourself. No, please don't put that.
I actually
me-
got
let me-
really annoyed a while back because there was an instance I saw where I was on one of those Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles compilation videos, and I think it was, oh God, I don't remember what the fuck the video was called, but the title had some inference about like every time the turtles like are sexy in the show. It's like basically a teenager clipping any instance where there's like a weird low angle shot or the characters say something where they could be like, oh, and then just like, you know, inserting text or whatever. Yeah, sussy baka type shit. And then somebody in the comments apparently inferred that the artist was a predator or a pedo or for some fucking reason for liking anthropomorphic turtles voiced by 30-year-old men.
God fucking damn it. I hate
And the
it here.
artist had to come out, or the video maker had to come out and be like, guys, I'm allowed to like these characters. They are insert whatever age the characters are canonically, and I am 16. And all that told to me was a teenager had to out themselves as a teenager, thus putting a target on their back for people who prey on teenagers in order to stop people telling them they were a fucking predator because they didn't know anything about this goddamn person.
It's but it's like it drives me insane as well when people do already know the age of the person, because I've seen this as well. It's like someone gets outed, well, they out themselves like, guys, I'm allowed to like this character, I'm their age, and people turn around and go, it's still wrong, you're still encouraging pedophilia.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
actually, you know,
motherfucker,
it's
shut up.
to, like,
See,
to
I'm of
bring
the
this to,
opinion that like,
real-life drama.
sorry, you go. No,
Yeah,
you go.
But like the Sashley drama, where like Sasha
Oh,
was
God.
like being like roped into being like a pedophile while she was like
my
13.
I
That's
am
so
going to
stupid.
fucking commit crimes. I'm so mad. I'm so
How
angry
dare
at these
you
people.
like adults, 13-year-old? You're promoting reverse pedophilia.
Oh,
I'm sorry to use the term that a fellow degenerate has used. Fellow degenerate. But, like, it's reverse grooming, guys. It exists.
Oh my god.
I'm going to murder someone. Someone's life ends with me.
Do it. Do me. Me first.
It's so frustrating because it's something that's so obvious to us speaking about this now, but then as soon as you go online and you look for 2 minutes, you see the most obscene, stupid shit.
Yep.
I guess probably a better example of that is when a minor ships a minor character with an adult. You get it a lot more there where they're like, well, you're still promoting pedophilia. It's like, they're a child, they're attracted to an adult, that's normal.
Yeah.
It's
I am
fuck.
again okay with this because
You know-
I grew up on the DeviantArt where like Snape Snogger was a thing where they were like people were shipping Harry Potter and Snape because people were projecting onto Harry Potter and they really liked Snape.
And it's like,
so
again, it's the type of thing where as adults you look at it and you go, that's not great. But
Yeah.
when you're a kid, because, bruh, I fucking loved Snape when I was a kid, because I'm about
Yeah.
the same age as the Harry Potter characters, so I grew up with them. And yeah, it's the kind of thing where you're like, okay, I'm that age and I'm attracted to this character. Let me real quick project onto another character who is like
well,
me.
that's the thing. They don't even know that they're doing
No,
it.
they
All
don't.
they think is like, I want this character and this character to kiss. They don't even register that the reason they want the character to kiss is because they're projecting onto one of them and the other one is specifically their type.
It's the sort of thing you recognize in hindsight. And again,
Yes.
it's not good. Like, we're not saying
And,
this
like,
should
yeah,
be encouraged, but the idea that you crucify someone for it is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The internet just like has no chill. Like
No.
even like oh my god, I see this thrown around all the time. Like age isn't an excuse. Age isn't an excuse.
Yes,
it's
it is!
literally the most excuse you can have. What are you talking
It's
about?
literally
Like, we have a
most
legal
valid
precedent. If you are too young, you're not supposed to be charged as an adult because
Literally.
age is an excuse.
The only reason that this
The
is
law
even
says
morally
it is
wrong.
An excuse. You are factually incorrect.
Well, not even that. Like, they're getting up in arms going, this is supporting, like, pedo stuff. It's like, the only reason that's even morally wrong, like, you know it's wrong, is because it's a child. Age is literally the reason you're upset.
Yeah.
What do you mean age is an excuse? I'm gonna be
The
so
next
mad.
person who says that I'm going to have to kill.
Murder
Plus,
is the only option.
One of the reasons we tell adults, like, you know, don't engage with children if they come onto you sexually is because, like, you know, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have full emotional, like, life experience context to understand the implications of what they're asking for. But then in the same breath, you're like, oh yeah, these children who don't have the life experience implications to know what they're asking for are like telling us that they want this dynamic in their artwork, and we're gonna take it super fucking seriously.
Actually, that's
Guys.
someone in chat just pointed out the fucking most obvious thing. A lot of the people saying age is not an excuse are fucking children.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're actively dumb.
Yep.
Oh my god. But I just said I can't bully children. But I want.
But the
It's
urge.
okay, stream. I'm child coded, so I'm allowed to do it. Just tell me what you want to say, and I'll spew all that shit.
Oh god, it's like, yeah, look, I'm not gonna hold a child to the fire for being stupid. It comes with the territory. But good fucking god, sit down, child, shut up.
Media literacy,
And
kids.
there are adults as well that will do this. Like, let's not
Oh,
pretend it's not
absolutely.
true. And I find
Some
a
people
lot of
just
It
don't
makes
grow up.
me angrier
Well, some people
when
don't
it's an
grow up.
adult.
yeah.
Absolutely, it does.
Yes, it does. But it's like, some people just don't grow up. Other people know exactly what they're fucking doing, and they're
Yeah.
just...
Some people play dumb.
Yeah. Well, they're just hiding, but again, it's that thing where it's like, I am in the moral high ground, therefore I
Yeah.
can say the most heinous fucking shit to you, and make
Or
these horrible
they're the people-
accusations.
They're the people who like hide behind kids as puppets.
Yeah,
Like
fuck.
oh god,
Yeah.
that Heather whatever chick from
Oh god! The deep lore!
from yes, shit, what's
Fuck.
it? Laka Laka's video.
Yeah, oh shit, what was their
Oh
fandom?
wait, hold on a minute. Okay, thank you. My brain just retroactively kicked in.
A core memory has been
okay,
unlocked.
I'm so sorry for looping back around into this.
No worries.
This was like actually like something that I was thinking about. One of the biggest reasons that I've been like so against this is because like I've had friends like tell me, and like I've seen it happen where because these child characters who like were written like in as a child in the media and then like aged up or not aged up, it could in quotations aged up for like sexual purposes, like that content has been used to like actually groom minors because it's
I
look,
fully
this-
believe that.
yeah, and like that was. Thank you for kicking in 20 minutes after the question was asked. Yeah, okay, that's all I want. We can move on from the topic.
we can now proceed. Okay. I think
But in that situation, I think that's again where media literacy comes into play and the need for kids to have it because of this stuff online. Because like even if that stuff didn't exist, groomers, people who want to manipulate you have a way of twisting things that could be
they sure
perceived as
do.
good or neutral into bad things, or like twisting bad things into good things in order to make your view of them change. Like that is inherently what they do. So even if this content didn't exist, they would just find something else and they would just twist it.
Actually, okay,
Yeah, that's
before
true, but,
we...
like,
Oops, sorry, because that's like the last formal question, but I have sort of two topics I think we would want to cover. But I just want to say to chat real quick, because that's the end of the formal questions. Chat, if there's a specific question you want to throw at us or ask one of the guests, just at me so I see it in chat. just because we'll be winding down in a little bit, I think. So I want to make sure
Winding
everyone...
down? No, we're just getting
Oh god,
started, baby!
Stream's ready to fucking write!
We're going to war!
My point is, I just want to make sure that people know to get their questions in and how to get them seen.
Yeah.
And then you did just remind me of something. Hold on, what was it you just said last, B?
Oh my god.
Oh, no, it's okay, I got it. We were talking about, like, media and kind of looping back to when we were talking a bit more about the impact of violence and media and all that sort of thing. Something that I say frequently is that monsters will find a reason to be a monster regardless of the media, which is why I don't really have a bar of people being like, let's use the Dark Knight Rises shooting, for example, where people were like, they were inspired by the Joker. I'm like, you can't blame the Joker for the acts of a monster, a real-life monster.
Yeah, it's just that the guy used the Joker to justify thoughts that he probably already had.
Yeah, and the reason I want to bring that up, sort of twofold, obviously the surface level reason of it, and then the example of, like, the panic over new media. And I say that having, you know, the hindsight of our entire fucking species timeline, where every time there's a new bit of media, it is the cause for moral decay. Back in the day, it was plays and books becoming widely available to the peasants. Then it was like
Television.
and then television, radio. Obviously, video games are kind of the newer one, and social media, which, in fairness, that's not quite media, but you get the idea.
Social media, I would argue, is actually correct. Like, this is just the worst thing that we've ever invented.
That's not a good example because, yeah, that's not like media. That's like a social thing. So sorry, scratch that one from the record. What was it? Oh, music was a huge one. Back in like the 80s.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, where people were like, this is gonna destroy the fabric of society and cause mass violence.
All of our girls are gonna become whores.
Well, I mean, we did, so, you know, maybe they had a point. But my point is, there's always a new thing where people say, this is going to be the thing that causes mass violence. And by and large, they've always been wrong. And the only times we can point to examples, again, like the Dark Knight Rises thing, it's like, if that person had been alive back when the reason for the mass violence, quote-unquote, was plays, they would have been blaming Shakespeare. Like, they would have taken inspiration from something else, is my point.
Shakespeare, I can't believe you caused another mass shooting. Like, God, man, get it together.
But my point is, there's always a scapegoat, and it's never... It feels like an excuse not to actually address the people. It's like, okay, let's find the thing to blame so we can keep, in this instance, making money because capitalism.
Well, even for the people who did it, it may be like an excuse to pass the blame off themselves. Like you cited Shakespeare. If someone did a shooting and they were like, oh yeah, Shakespeare inspired me to do it, they are kind of passing the blame onto their inspiration to a degree. So it is sort of them sort of rejecting blame of what they've done in a sense.
Well, a more sort of visceral example of that is real is oh god, I can't remember his name, but TLDR, pedo rapist murderer who did those things to many children. I believe they were a scoutmaster. They said,
of course,
the reason that this happened was because I watched too much pornography. And I have no doubt that man consumed a lot of pornography, but I also have no doubt that had he not consumed that pornography, he still would have been that monster. Again, it's like we had
consumes a lot of pornography.
Yeah, we had
it's
mass
really
murdering.
Easy to not do that to people.
Yeah, we have
like
mass murdering pedo rapists from all stages of human history. You can't pretend that media creates those things.
I mean, okay, I guess like the thing that people kind of ignore with that side of the whole conversation is, like what we commonly like try to figure out in the psych field is it the media that's affecting the people, or is it just like violent people are attracted to violent media? Like which way is it?
I think it's both, really. Realistically.
Yeah, it is both in a lot of cases. So it's just like these kinds of people, especially when it comes to violent people, using like, oh no, the media made me do this. It's like the thoughts were already there. This was just like a little bit more fuel to the fire.
Well, I don't even think that
this was just your justification for it.
I feel like violent people are drawn to violent media.
Absolutely. Because it helps them live out their fantasies.
Yeah, but I don't think violent media creates violent people. I mean, if it were to create a violent person, it would have to be like Clockwork Orange, with it just being the only fucking thing they consume.
I think it can if they're exposed to it long enough at a young enough age.
Oh yeah, age definitely comes into it.
Absolutely, I think violent media could play a part. If you're sitting down your 4-year-old kid in front of like someone playing, oh fuck, what's that game? Hatred or whatever the fuck it's called, where
Oh
it's just a
no.
guy going around actively as a mass shooter and killing people, you are going to create a sociopath, like guaranteed.
That's the thing. It's age
But-
comes into it, the amount of
Age and
exposure,
frequency.
and then also another
Yeah.
big thing is normalization. And I think my pet theory on why
Yeah.
like sexual topics in particular tend to get people young and fuck them up is because we like sex is one of those things we discussed earlier. It's like 18 plus, we can't discuss it. So all they have to go off is the media that they're consuming. So again, let's use like Orange Host Club and anime and incest and whatnot. It's so normalized and not talked about actively that it's the kind of thing that
I think we should talk about it more
exactly.
actively,
Well, that's
too,
the
'cause,
thing.
Yeah.
Like okay, let's use the example of violence. So you watch a movie where someone gets shot point blank in the face. Okay, cool. You've now seen that, and everything around you, like societally speaking, tells you that's wrong. Like that doesn't happen day to day. That's bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
you
Okay,
see
that's actually.
yeah, but then you see the twins from Orange Host Club hanging off each other and being brothers and implying the sexies, and people don't talk about it because it's like sex. And it's like, no, hush, shh, we don't talk about that. So there's not like an immediate social rebuttal to it.
And I feel like that's also part of why the whole pro-ship, anti-ship argument is so volatile, because there is no like general overarching discussion when it comes to like sexual topics. So people just kind of end up like in their own little corners and like convinced that they're in the right corner.
Yeah.
They end up in their echo chambers.
Ah, the internet.
Like that's the one thing, is like the internet can help to expose us to a lot of different opinions that we might not have considered before, which is a great thing, but it's only if you're willing to go out and like listen to those opinions. And I mean, in fairness, I can understand like there are extreme opinions that I don't want to listen to. I don't want to listen to like what the fuck his name was or whatever, the guy who was trying to be all like, oh yeah, people should be allowed to have sex with children as young as 3.
You know, the worst thing is that does not narrow the list down, like at all.
You know what, that's fair. Yeah, I don't want to listen to opinions like that, and I think that's fine. The problem is, when you create an echo chamber and you become aggressive to like any opinion that differentiates from yours.
Yeah, but that's just kind of the internet in general, isn't it?
Yeah, well, because people are more willing to be assholes if they think there's no way it could ever
we
be
could go into the whole
them.
problem of the internet and anonymity like another day.
That's a whole other fucking topic right there. Unless, is there any specific thoughts you guys want to say? Because I've got a few questions from chat as well that we can cover.
Well, I mean, I have something very important. When will B and I getting one of your close species, Mali?
Oh my god, you're so right. You're so right. I need to, when I move into the new place, I've got to actually set a time and date to do a closed species giveaway stream. Fuck. That's been on my list forever. You're right, you're so right. Alright, so what are y'all's thoughts on characters who in canon their ages are dubious, and thus some people view them as young adults and others view them as teenagers? And then
that's like a
sort of
gray area. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of like my whole like iffiness with Attack on Titan, because on one hand, yeah, they're supposed to be like 13, 14, but like there's like no context to suggest that.
I thought they were all, I thought they were like fucking 18 at the youngest. I haven't watched
12. Yeah, they were 12 when like at the very start of the anime, it's very clear that they're like fucking children. But then
that's
like they like age up to like 13, 14. Yeah, and then I think they're like 16 for a majority of the runtime. But they're like technically kids, but like there's no context.
Yeah.
You could easily confuse them for adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that instance, it's the sort of thing where, especially because they're not, real people, so it's not like that situation where you could actually victimize someone. If someone thinks those characters are adults and acts as such, I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that. It's sort of thing. It's like
I actually do this purposely with the way I create a lot of my characters. Is I will specifically create them with their age being ambiguous. because I want them to be relatable to a broad array of people. And I understand that narrowing the character down to a very specific niche is going to make it sometimes more difficult for other people to relate to them. So if I broaden the character's age and I just have them deal with regular troubles, more people will be able to relate to it and will just be able to focus on the story.
Oh, but
That's how I
Ponder,
think.
don't you know? If someone mistakes that as a child, then they're a child forever, and that means everyone else's interpretation is incorrect. You're creating pedo content.
I
Oh,
fucking hate
God.
I hate the internet so much. God fucking damn it. Alright, this is another good one because it's kind of the reverse of how this normally goes. So they ask, I don't know if it had been already addressed, but how do you guys feel about not safe for work content of characters who are canonically underage, but their designs don't match said age, such as Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who is, I actually mentioned this in my age up video. Motherfucker's in high school, but goddamn, look at him. And normally it's the other way around, especially in anime where they're like, they're 1,000-year-old lolly, and you're like, shut the fuck up. So you don't see it as often in the other direction where it's like, oh, they're canonically younger, but they look older.
Yeah. I mean, like that comes like back to like my whole argument with the Attack on Titan, right? Like if there's no if there's like little context and like it's not very obvious, like it's easy for people to just mistake it.
My thing, I'm gonna use Yandere Dev again as the example. If it quacks like a duck and it acts like a duck, it's a fucking duck. So if this character,
neither quacks nor looks like a duck, not a duck.
Yeah, not a duck. But yeah, if they look, act, and in every conceivable way appear to be an adult, and then someone turns around and says, but they're actually 10, I'm going to ignore the person who's telling me the sky is green. And by that same virtue, if they look and act like a 10-year-old, but someone turns around and tells me they're 50, I'm going to ignore them telling me the sky is green.
Yeah.
So that's where we stand on that one. Curious about thoughts on non-human characters that people sexualize. Oh, sorry.
I was actually going to say that actually goes back to my point about the artist's ability to convey the age of the character effectively.
Well, someone just says that
Skill
JoJo
issue
is
what I'm hearing.
Yeah, sometimes they're just like their
Skill
art
issue.
style or the way that they're portraying the characters. Sometimes the characters don't look their age. There's another character in Jotaro who's supposed to be like, I think in kindergarten or something, and he looks like an old man. He's disgusting.
Well, yeah, someone just said Jotaro is 40 in part 6.
That, like, whoever made JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just, like, trolling their fan base.
They are bizarre in and of themselves. Apparently in part 6 they look the same, but they're 40, and I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right. Again...
No, JoJo looks younger, I would argue, in part 6. That I would argue JoJo looks younger in part 6.
Bruh, okay, yeah, at this point they're trolling. They trolling! Yeah, intent is a huge part of all of this. So what was that about? Non-human characters that people sexualize, specifically in the instance of them being very much allegorical children/teenagers, but because they're ambiguously aged, people sexualize them. Non-human... Oh, you mean like, I guess, elves, vampires, gods, that kind of thing? Again, the duck analogy, like, you get the 1,000-year-old lolly all the fucking time.
Actually, you know what? We should probably clear that up, like, for the stream when it gets archived. None of us support lolly or Shotokan shit. Like, get it out of here.
Begone.
Yeah, no.
Begone, thoughts. Again, you can tell people's intent, and you can tell when they're bullshitting you. If someone's drawing, like, porn of the Powerpuff Girls, and, again, I've fucking seen some shit. This dude that sometimes crops up and gives me grief tends to draw like Cartoon Network characters in sexual ways as they appear in the show, and then they're like, oh yeah, and usually their justification is, oh, they're not real, so therefore it's okay, and I'm like, fuck you and die. But also they sometimes go, oh, but they're actually adults. I'm like, where
Yeah,
it's a duckling.
I see
you
that
have handed
all the
me a
time.
duckling.
So I hate this, but so this is something that I understand, but I hate the fact that it gets used in that fashion. Because, like, the way that cartoons work is that they are an extremely overly simplified rendition of a character or something in reality. In this case, like a face. Depending on how simplified that face is, it becomes easier and easier for a person to project onto the character. So that that's why people will project onto like really really simple characters a lot of the time. Like oh god, I can't think of a good example off the top of my head. But in that sense, that lack of differentiation in faces also means that it's usually a lot more difficult to tell the age of a character, which is specifically why we have things like child codifiers or age codifiers, I think would actually be a much better term. So like if a character is older, for example, the art style might be exactly the same. They might have the exact same face shape. The only thing they change about the character is they put bags under their eyes. And to us, that is supposed to indicate this character is older. And not even like bags, because then you've got like Hunter from the Owl House. He's got proper bags, and that's just supposed to imply that he's tired. I'm talking about like wrinkle bags.
Yeah, that man just happens
like
to be
Ida,
very traumatized.
Like Ida from the Owl House. So there's in general not enough information in a cartoon for us to be able to accurately display age, which is why we have these codifiers. In that sense, that's why I think it's okay for people to have crushes on characters that are not the same age as them. It's because you can just imagine that character any age. But in that sense, I also hate it because these people use that argument to draw the characters exactly as they are and then say, in my interpretation, the character is supposed to be 18 plus. I hate that.
I did also...
I understand where it comes from, but I hate it.
I briefly saw this pop up in chat, and now I can't see it anymore. Someone asked... I didn't catch the whole question, but I think the gist of it was asking if it's okay for people to draw... Like, I think they were asking if it's okay for people to draw child characters in that way in private, if it's not shared online. For reasons of... Yeah, I if that person's still in chat, could you resend the question? Because I don't know if that was actually what you were asking. I only briefly saw it flash up. So let's shelve that in case they send it again, because I want to make sure I actually get the question correct. But Practically Void has a question that's still on screen, I can see. On the JoJo topic, would you agree aging up a character who canonically died as a kid to be okay, especially if they're aging up along with other characters? I know this is a pretty common topic, talked about especially regarding ships such as Jotaro and Kakion, both 17, and when Part 3 had started. So I think they're asking both in sexual terms and non-sexual terms. Yes.
Actually, you know what?
My answer is yes.
I do have another example for this as well. Like Attack on Titan, how so many people ship Marco and John, despite Marco having died like when he was like 14 or something, and like John is like adult right now.
Yeah, they usually just pretend that he didn't die and that he's still the same age as him. And
actually, counterpoint to that, I have seen some comics where it's like, oh, John dies and then like meet in heaven.
Oh, okay. So then maybe they just use the thing where like they died, but their ghost still ages. I know some people don't like that, but like it's death. You don't have to pretend that the character stays the same age for eternity. You can pretend that they age with their loved ones. It's not real, fucker.
As long as, again, the duck. If the duck is aging.
If the duck is aging.
But yeah, I mean, if a character has died in canon, and someone has continued the story with them not dying and they age, then I think that's totally fine. Like, I don't see why that would be an issue. Now, if you're drawing them having the sexy time when they are children still, then we can discuss that being wrong, because that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Alright, see, here's my problem I'm having right now, just behind the scenes, here's my problem. The chat that I see on screen in the Twitch panel is different to the one I see on Streamlabs, and different again to the one that I see in the Stream Manager. I am trying to catch all, like, people's questions, but my god, some of them just do not show up. I am sorry if I miss your question, feel free to send it again.
I think you should just grow a third eye, Mali. I think that's your problem.
I don't know why they're all different. I don't know why I have 3 different chats. This is ridiculous.
Well, this is your trademark, right? Your stream is always scuffed. Everything is scuffed.
I just don't understand how this is happening, because that's why I missed that question earlier. I can't find it now because it's not showing up on the other 2 chats. Oh, and suddenly the chat moves. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, let me see. You can resend your memes as well. Yes, that's fine. So let's see. I saw another question pop up and I've already lost it. Lumi has abandoned us. This is true.
Yeah.
What if a character
Fuck him.
appears as and acts as an adult, but they're confirmed canonically a child, especially if there's a reason as to why they look old or mutation or something?
so like
Again, it's-
Superboy.
Is that a Superboy thing?
Superboy is like 2. He looks
Oh!
like a teenager, or he looks like he's 18.
Oh, right. I think that's
but
fine, actually.
he's still got the mentality of a teenager,
it-
which is why they then ship him with Miss Martian.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, let's use robots as an example. So many robot characters. Like, let's use Detroit Become Human. Canonically, all of the Connor bots are only like a couple of months fucking old, but they're all, you know, adults. Do I think it's wrong
Yeah.
to sexualize that character? No, it's an adult, even though it was only built a few months ago. Yeah,
and it has the mentality of an adult.
yeah, no, there's definitely situations in which that is completely fine. But again, it comes back to the obvious intent. The 1,000-year-old lolly might be 1,000 years old,
You know,
but for
every
some
time-
reason,
every time
they're
we
still in
come to this-
diapers. Sorry.
Well,
Every
I
time we
feel
come
like
to
a
this
lot of
argument.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to the mentality of the character, because like even in real life, if you have an adult person but they have the mentality of a child, people are going to be extremely upset with you if you try to effectively
Absolutely.
sexually assault that person.
Well, I mean,
So if you have a character who looks like a child but who has the mentality and demeanor and behavior and sound of an adult, you could just assume that that's somebody with like a growth deformity, and we have people like that in real life.
it's so tricky because I can see it both ways in that regard, because if they look like
Wait,
a
have you
child
guys-
but they act like an adult, I still kind of side-eye that, because it's like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
wait, have you guys seen like the video of like the world's shortest woman where she's
She looks like she's
literally
9 years
toddler
old.
sized? Yeah.
Oh,
But like that's
or,
not like fiction anymore.
No, there's a woman with a growth deformity who looks like she's 9, and then there's the world's shortest woman who's like 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah, no,
and she
no, I'm
looks
thinking
like a
about the
doll.
growth deformity 9 person.
Yeah,
God, that
I
sucks.
feel so bad for her because her trying to find anybody to date, like anybody she dates is going to be seen. They're going to be socially looked at weird.
Yeah, Pinky, resend your question. I think yours was the one I missed. Also, I saw someone in chat.
I mean, to be fair though, could you ever imagine looking at that in bed and like not cringing?
Don't fuck.
No,
You don't gotta
I-
do
I,
it like that.
I don't even want.
Mali, she looks 9.
Don't gotta do it like that. That's so mean. That's
Yeah,
so
like,
mean.
you feel so bad for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the person
Like
suffering in
I
that
already
regard
have
is her.
issues. I already have issues where like people have implied that like anybody who finds me attractive is a creeper.
You know what? Fuck all of you. Ponder, will you marry me?
Oh god.
We're getting married on stream, guys. This is it. It's happening.
All right, hold on. Let me grab the
This
music.
is the full character arc. We've gone from beefing to marriage.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, enemies
Oh,
to
it's the
lovers arc.
Friends to enemies trope. Or enemies to
It went
I
friends
completely got
to
that
enemies
backwards.
to enemies to lovers. It's okay. We figured it
Yeah.
out. All right, hold on. Where is it?
Yeah,
I have the music
We've
for
got
this.
the whole fanfiction package.
Oh shit, you're right.
Oh lord.
Fuck.
Oh, actually, hold on. I don't anymore. I got rid of it. Oops. All right, next time. I am already acutely aware that I've missed like 3 questions just then. God fucking damn it. I'm trying, guys.
Mal, we're not married. You're married to Fixie.
What? I was unaware of this. No one told me this. God damn it. I'm sorry, chat. I understand I've missed like so many of your questions. I'm trying to keep track of them.
No.
Um,
Okay. Well, I'm dead next time if we play Phasmophobia, anyways. But okay. Well.
Yeah, see, Marlon brings up a good point. If the minor is an IRL actor, I agree. If it's a cartoon, where's the issue? That's the thing. When it's an IRL child actor, you
Like,
can
there's no
fucking
questions.
tell. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
hear it. Like, you can hear how young they are. It's like they haven't finished developing speech almost.
Total fucking
I feel
sidebar.
like there's no excuse for that.
You know, it's like when people try to argue to me that Cuties wasn't that bad. Like,
Bruh.
actually jumped off a cliff.
Yeah, actually shut the fuck up with that. not naming names, you know who you are. We're all thinking of the same person. It's okay.
Yeah.
Total fucking sidebar, but I just remembered and I have to share this. I watched Black Demon last night, and there's a child actor in that, and goddamn it, children should not act. It's painful. Make them stop.
Some child actors are really good though. Like
That
actually
is true.
wondering-
But for the
I'm
few that are
actually
good,
wondering.
Hmm?
So I'm actually wondering if AI is going to phase out child actors.
ooh, I mean they're about as good as each other. No, that's unfair. There are some really good child actors.
But like
let's
when you
say-
think about like how damaging the Hollywood industry is for child actors, I kind of wonder if that's for the best.
I kind of actually, yeah, I can kind of see that actually being a good implementation of AI. But
Yeah.
knowing like capitalism, they'll just be like, let's replace everyone with AI, and it's like, God fucking damn it.
I mean, okay, we could get like the whole AI argument is always like tinted by like we know what the fucking people who use AI to simulate, you know.
Well, I think actually I might be able to give a little bit of an actual industry person perspective on this, because the last company that I was working, because I'm a compositor, okay? So I have I am not employed right now, but I had a fucking day job. I'm moving, so anyway, but the point is I'm a compositor, so that means that I work at the end of the movie pipeline, and the last place that I was employed was in the process of setting up AI to help with the next video project that they're filming. I can't obviously give specifics because NDAs and blah blah blah. Also, it would be just you know, bad practice. And I remember sitting there as I'm working on the final shots of this film and just listening to the person they'd bring in once a week to tell them about how they're going to use AI to speed up the filming process. Some like they spoke in very flowery language, and because I'm terminally online, I recognized a lot of it as just showmanship and being like, oh, we're gonna change the world with this. And then they started talking about the fucking what's that thing, the meta or whatever the fuck it's called.
The metaverse.
Yeah, the metaverse, and I kind of just rolled my eyes and phased out. But yeah, it's absolutely industry people are getting in on it, and they're seeing how much manpower they can replace with it. So when people are being like, oh, you're worried about nothing, it's like, I'm literally sitting here listening to this person talk about how they're trying to replace me with a machine in front of me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was a total sidebar, but I just wanted to give that perspective.
We should dismantle capitalism and move to communism, my
Let's
brothers.
go! Comrades!
Comrades.
I love how many people don't
Comrades.
even know what communism is. It's just, people are just like, it's the opposite of America. That's how they
Yeah.
view it.
Which is kind of funny.
Oh god, yeah, but AI replacing child actors, I could see as a good thing, actually.
Yeah,
Oh, but
absolutely.
you
that
don't-
would be a benefit.
Okay, but hear me out. We could have more CGI Twilight baby.
Okay, I was just talking about voice acting. Let's not bring CGI into this shit, please.
I hate this prospect, and I hate you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you.
Oh god. Alright, I think I know I've missed things in chat, but I cannot find them. I am so sorry. Get your
Yeah, and I do
very
have to,
last
like,
minute
get
questions
going.
in, or we'll go final thoughts.
Get
We'll
good
go final
scrubs.
thoughts.
Get good scrubs, good final
You
thoughts.
know what? I wonder how many people on Twitter still haven't like caught on that this has all been fake beef.
I feel
Yeah.
so
How many
bad. I
people
feel
are gonna,
so
like, come to
bad.
us in our comments like,
Hold on, here's one. What about aging up children to teens to explore more? Oh, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream. We discussed how we feel about aging up characters for the purpose of like horror and that kind of thing. TLDR on that, B and I are pretty much completely fine with it. Stream has some concerns in regards to, I guess, the culture at large. But yeah, no, absolutely. This will be a Stream, am I giving you this VOD? Is that the plan?
I think so. I'll try. You can like keep this up on the channel. I'll try to like maybe edit it down a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
all right. So the VOD will be up on the channel, and then Stream will have a better version of it on their channel, so you will be able to go back and have a listen to that. What can you say about Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel? I have not seen it, and I do not plan to. Sequel where both characters actually had a kid in the movie sequel. Well, yeah, that we talked about that a little bit too. The difference between aging up child characters canonically versus aging them up in fan works, and why is it different? Again, the VOD will be your best friend, and that'll be up immediately once we stop streaming, so that's okay. And was there something? There was another thing we had to cover. what was it? Right, the Twitch stuff. No, not the Twitter spats. I felt a little bad at first because we didn't come out singing.
That was definitely my bad because I didn't know how like fake we were going to make it, so I like accidentally made it too real.
It was too believable, and then I sat back and I thought about it, where it was like, God damn it, these people watch content creators actually beef it out on Twitter that often. Hold on, this isn't obviously a joke, so we had to progressively make it sillier so people were less worried.
I think it's more funny when they don't know it's a joke.
Yeah, B was like, let them fry.
To agree with B on this.
It was definitely funny, but I was like, hold on, people will actually be stressing. So I tried to actively make it sillier the longer we went. I think once we started including the fisticuff memes, they got it.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite response was still, are you JK or serious?
Are you serious?
That was so good. Oh,
it's
God.
so funny.
But I feel like anytime someone in my circle starts, like, beefing on Twitter now, you can almost guarantee that it's leading up to a stream. Because...
Oh, yeah. This should be, like, a reoccurring bit, actually. Anytime that we want to, like, stream, we just, like, create Twitter beef.
You know what? Absolutely. Anytime we have a new topic we want to cover, fuck it, let's Twitter beef. Oh, that's your warning, chat. Now you know.
Now you are aware.
The curtain has been lifted. You see all. Okay, hold on. What about aging up minor characters that belong to minors? That's not your character. Like,
oh no,
yeah,
go actually jump off a roof then. Go.
Weird.
Nah.
Stop.
See, that's the thing. Like, when I know some people are like, but the Harry Potter characters aren't your character. Yeah, but that's like an established IP that fans can do whatever.
There's a difference between established like global IPs and
like an
little
OC of a minor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like at that point, you are singling a person out.
Like literally, just don't touch children. Why is that so hard?
Okay, for some reason, the YouTube chat just loaded for me, and the first thing I see is Spockter sipping tea while watching Twitter light on fire. Why Spockter? What the fuck? Fam, explain yourself.
We're waiting for B to, like, fall from grace or something.
Maybe.
For not defending him during his drama.
What if minors draw not safe work to get Steam out? Then just don't publicly share it. Like,
yeah, just, like, let them
put it under your bed.
Private.
Yeah, put it under your bed. Wait till you're 18. Yeah. Just don't share it. Children, please don't. Just stop. Children, my plea to you is stop.
Stop.
Yeah, my plea is just simply do not. Simply cease.
You can say that, but you know they're not.
What if the character is at the mental capacity where they have like an adult mind? But oh yeah, we already discussed that. All right, let's see. Just want to make sure I'm getting these last minute ones. Bruh, people like Lyle would be concerned about what. Lyle actually did weigh in on our Twitter spat. I was kind of bummed. I thought he might. Well, like, okay, behind the scenes, some of our creative friends came to us like, guys, are you okay? What the fuck is happening? And we're like, oh shit, wait, hold on, guys, we're kidding.
When I found out that Lyle was asking, like, Ponder about all this, I was like, oh shit.
Wait, Lyle asked you? Oh, Lyle didn't ask me.
Lyle pulled me into a private call and was like, hey, are you okay? There's like stuff going on Twitter.
God. See, everyone got someone else going to them about, like, Lumi came to me like, the kids are fucking worried. Oh, God.
I had Duchess and Callie come to me like, hey, are you okay?
Oh, God. I guess you two were going harder. I was playing mediator for most of it until I got proper silly.
Well, I mean, we can't help it. We have
Gremlin
the
energy.
natural beef charisma.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, B, they thought you were Spockter.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Oh no. Oh no.
They're mixing up Spockter and Sprocket.
Ah, I can see. Fair enough.
Where's the hard drive, Ponder?
Where is it?
Dun dun dun! I mean,
You're
apparently
fine,
it's down
Jippery.
the toilet.
You're fine. What do you think about the people that say if they're short and have small boobs, they shouldn't be depicted because they can be confused for children? I say fuck off and die. No.
Yeah,
okay, like short people or like people just like, because I have like almost flat chest.
And
you.
B is tiny. B got mistaken for a child when Naruto ran over to us. Like, Scritus literally was like, who is this, like, teenager that's joined us? What's going on? And I'm like, no, that's
Who's
Ponda. And he
this
was like,
sassy
who's?
child?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Just
Man,
sassy
it's so
lost
small.
child.
I should draw that.
Okay, hold on. So Pinky says their question's a little bit up. Where? Where the fuck is Pinky's question? I know they've asked this question because I saw it flash up very quickly. But for some reason it's not on my... Did either of you two catch a question from Pinky?
I have not been looking at.
Oh, damn it.
It's too
Alright,
much.
Pinky,
My
I'm
brain-
so sorry. One more time, please. I hope you have it, like, copied. Please. My eyes are on the chat. I'm not looking away.
We've been streaming for like 2.5 hours.
Bruh.
Oh, here.
B
For
streams so
someone-
long.
I found it.
Oh, what is it?
For someone who went through essay, would drawing it be fine? And would drawing abuse a character goes through be fine? Like non-con art or something?
Oh yeah,
that's
I think we like touched on this.
Yeah,
right?
we
Like, if it's,
touched
like,
on
like,
it.
Like essay, like or like any kind of traumatic experience, like just don't fucking judge. It's like it's their trauma. Let them deal with it however they want.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's a trauma that someone hasn't gone through, like I feel like
Absolutely.
people should be allowed to explore dark and terrible and traumatic topics.
Yeah. Well, I have a
feel like
very
it's dismissive if you tell them that they can't.
yeah, I have a very firm stance on this topic, and it's A, you don't have to air out your dirty laundry to explain your kinks. Like, you just fucking don't have to. If someone comes to you, it's like, you can't do this unless you've been assaulted. It's like, fuck off. It's none of your business. As long as it
Yeah,
is tagged
like-
appropriately and in the appropriate places, you can
Oh,
draw, write, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. As long as it's not
That's
illegal.
disgusting, though. Could you imagine having to prove to the internet
yes.
that you got sexually assaulted in order to justify writing a story
Yes.
about someone being sexually assaulted?
Yep.
I've seen it happen.
It's ridiculous. And it's like, look, guys, again, if it's tagged appropriately in the correct spaces, leave it the fuck alone. And again, if people go, oh, it's wrong to depict those things, and again, I have to turn to traditional media and be like, well, I guess most erotica is just illegal now.
Yep.
Especially if it's, well, most mainstream erotica is male-female with traditional gender roles.
I feel
It
like-
is
like-
mostly
like
abuse.
Our general like consensus, I feel like everyone's thoughts on this topic can be summarized as if oh my god, I just lost my train of thought as oh my fucking god. Okay, great, thank you,
Nerd.
Rain.
God, brainant.
Relatable.
Think not.
Like, if it's not being romanticized and if it's not hurting anyone, like go off.
Go
we
off,
don't
King.
care.
You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Again, tags are your friend. And I always think of like fanfiction in terms of AO3 because it's the only valid fanfiction site. It's wonderful with the
I
tags.
would argue Quotev can like have bangers or like fucking straight garbage.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it's like my favorite thing about AO3 is I can just immediately filter out things I absolutely do not want to see. Like one of the main warning tags is underage, and you can just tick that and go. So yeah, it's I think that's really good for it. And again, if people have an issue and it's like my brother in Christ, it said dead dove, do not eat. And what were you expecting? It's like you've come into someone else's space knowing exactly what's there to complain about what's in that space. Just don't enter that
I mean,
space.
I guess to be fair, like this is like also like my general argument on like how people treat like their platforms and like the internet in general. Like we all assume that our platforms are just like our little circle, and like only people that are like-minded or like want to consume the same kind of content are gonna be there. But like in reality, like there's probably gonna be a lot
yeah.
of people
Yeah.
who like
Anyone
disagree.
can
Like
see it.
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, and like
See, that's
But,
a
like,
problem though. Like we're talking about our content. Our content is, you know, video and streams, and we're just chatting shit and whatnot. And you can kind of have warnings and all that sort of thing for that. But it's a very different medium to something like fanfiction, where it's like if you click on this fanfiction and it says non-con, and then you get upset because there's non-con, I don't know what to tell
That's
you.
your
You're
damn
illiterate.
fault.
Yeah, that is 100%
yeah,
your
that's
fault.
fair. But I guess like also like on the same side, because I know like people like who argue like this like are usually like, oh my god, free speech, free speech. But if you have to consider if you're really like all free speech, then like you're letting everyone, including the people who you don't like and disagree with you, like they're also free to like come on here and like comment like bad things.
Oh yeah, well I mean
It
you
goes
can't
both ways.
like you can come on and comment a shitty thing, but then I'm just gonna look at you and be like, my brother in Christ, what the fuck did you expect? Like yeah, you can say it. It doesn't make it any less stupid. Also, I just side thing. Those I'm specifically talking about. I don't want to say commentary bros, but that type of dude. You know that type of dude that scream about free speech, and then they're like, only the free speech I like, though.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you motherfuckers. Anyway, that's just a side problem. AO3 is goated. You are correct. It is the best. Yes, I live for the AO3 love in chat. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna publish a book on AO3. Fucking, sorry, got distracted. Mostly I was thinking more that, as long as you tag it, you're fine. Like, people can still hate it. It's the internet. Doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah,
People are
but,
gonna
like,
hate it.
You gave them a warning.
Yeah, you've done all that you can do.
Yeah.
You're not in the wrong for simply enjoying dark things. Alright, God, chat, why you move so quick? Why you do this? Hold on, I saw something, someone was getting shamed, and I don't stand for that shit. Where is it? I once had a talk with someone I knew that told me to find a better coping mechanism instead of, like, creating media that comforts me, so I think that person who told you that's full of shit. Media is one of the best coping mechanisms around. They can shut the fuck up. That's my take.
Media that you're creating yourself,
Yeah.
because then you don't have to specifically go out and find media that is tailored to you. You can just create exactly what you need.
Yeah, no, that my take is they had bad advice. Just fuck that. Sorry, I have nothing extra to add to that. What about writing a character who's a child that experienced something traumatic? For example, I have an anti-hero that watched their parents... Bruh, every hero watches their parents be killed. You're in good company. And then kidnapped and made into a super soldier. Bruh, that's fine.
Some children go through terrible things in real life. It happens.
Shit happens.
You know what? We should probably actually talk about that. Like the previous point that Mali brought up in chat is when people like use like how one person like who's like suffered the same trauma and how they deal with it as like a justification to attack another person who has suffered that same trauma and like copes like through like crochet art or whatever. That's just like people are going to deal with trauma differently. Fucking don't.
I'm so sick of people policing trauma.
See, that's specifically why I'm in the camp of like people should be able to ship whatever they want as long as it's not hurting people, because you don't know what that person's trauma is like.
And I feel like a lot of the time...
And I don't think it's appropriate to expect them to justify it to me, some fucking rando on the internet.
Yeah. Well, if someone has to open their explanation with, so I was sexually assaulted as a child, it's like, hold on, we've already, this conversation has already progressed too far into your business.
That's only if they know why they like the characters they do. Some people don't have the self-reflection, like the self-reflective abilities to be able to recognize why they like the characters that they do, why they gravitate towards the stories that they do. Like like sitting down in a therapy setting when it's all laid out for you and you're talking about it with somebody else, it's a lot easier to understand. But some people just don't have access to that, so they don't know why they like what they do. They just know that they like it, and they don't know how to justify it to people who are hounding them about it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Especially
but on the opposite side of the spectrum, people who do consume that content are higher chance that they are creeps.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is also the internet. Everyone has like a base level possibility of creephood. And honestly, you could be a degenerate fuckwit in your own private life. That's none of my fucking business. You do
Little did you know all this time.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if someone's being a degenerate and reading degenerate shit, like in their own home, what fucking business is it of mine? I don't need to know about it. Actually, that was another thing. Fuck. Oh god, this is gonna annoy the shit out of me. When you see, let's circle back to the antis that it's like, this ship is problematic, this character is bad, how can you like them? I'm going to commit crimes. Like, you know those people that's like, you can't like them, they're toxic. And I'm like, I'm about to become so toxic just to poison you. I hate you. I'm sorry. I'm just venting my frustration.
Bullshit.
God, I can't, like, whatever, I feel like we all have the same stance on that whole, like, you can't like this character, they insert bad thing here.
Yeah.
Oh, you like this character, this evil character, because you think you can fix him? No, I want to encourage
I want to
behavior.
break his legs.
Yeah. It's like, motherfuckers, I know I can't exist at the bottom of the ocean. I know I would get crushed. I know I would get wrinkly. I know I can't breathe down there. Let me enjoy my fantasy.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing I always say. Fantasy is the best thing ever. It has an inbuilt safe word. You just stop.
Yeah.
Bruh. Let people have their fucking fantasy. It was like, how can you like this character? They're a genocidal maniac. And I'm like, yeah, they're also
We
2D.
ignore the genocidal maniac part.
And that's very
That
sexy.
doesn't make sense. The like you like Makima, you're a groomer. Like, wouldn't
What?
that imply that you want to be groomed?
Yeah, well, I mean, wouldn't you want to be the victim in that scenario? But whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, makes me so angry.
Okay, counterpoint, just to play the devil's advocate, there probably is a line that should be drawn, like, if you're simping for, like, God. What's that clown's name from Hunter x Hunter?
I don't fucking know. I've only watched one arc of Hunter x Hunter, and he wasn't in it.
I've never seen an episode of it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what his name is.
The clown is like openly portrayed to be like a nonce.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's weird.
So like, there's probably a line that could be drawn for like.
Isn't he like the favorite though?
Hisoka. Yeah.
Isn't he the favorite? What? See, I don't know anything about him, so it's like, what
is
it?
What? You know why?
Why?
It's probably because the people who originally were old enough to like at the age to watch the show, they're crushing on people who are older and they're projecting on the main character. So they like the fact that there's a character who likes a character his age.
Yeah, especially if
Guaranteed
you want to be.
That's what it is.
If the fantasy is you want to be victimized, then yeah, I can totally see that.
They're gonna like the victimizer.
It's like I'm sure that a few people like the character because they are, you know, wanting to be in his shoes, but by and large, I think it's the opposite. I think most people are like, yeah, I would like to be victimized by weird pedo clown. In which case, I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that. Especially because it's like, okay, as long as it's just a fiction thing, go off, queen.
Most people in life are bottoms or switches. It's just
So yeah, I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that.
My head.
Unless they're advocating for like real life abuse of children, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
God, you gave me a thought just then and it completely fell out of my brain. Fuck.
I ate it.
You ate my brain. God fucking cancelled for cannibalism. Well, actually, no. I've just remembered. So I knew this person once, and I won't give any identifiers if I can help it. So as you may know, I fucking love BioShock, and specifically Frank Fontaine. And he's terrible. He's terrible in every fucking way. He's a misogynist. He's racist. He's, I guess, he's not quite genocidal, but he's totally down to kill some kids.
He's nearing that point.
Yeah, he totally would if he could, but he's just
on the tipping point.
Yeah, if he wasn't so fucking stupid and like thought out any of his plans for more than 2 minutes, he totally would. He's too stupid to be properly evil. Anyway, my point is I really like him and he's bad. And I met this person who also really, really liked Fontaine. And when we met, they actually said, hold on, you wrote that fanfic about Fontaine? I've read that. And I was like, oh god. I'm being seen in real life. It was okay because it turned out they wrote a fanfiction that I had also read. Funny how that worked. Anyway, I met this person in university in person. It was so wild. But anyway, we were talking about Fontaine at one point, and offhandedly I remarked on his racism on account of him being a massive racist. And this person got very upset. Very, very upset. Like, no, he's not a racist. And I sort of sat back, I'm like, but all the slurs and everything that he does and just all of that. And like, no, he's not racist. He can't be. And I was very confused by how upset they got. Yeah, but that was the thing. And I was like, it took a while for us to kind of talk it out a bit until I finally got it. And I was like, oh shit, you can't like a racist character because that would reflect badly on you in your own mind. They were like, no, he's not a racist, he's not a sexist. And I'm like, bruh, have you even looked at this man? Have you looked at this chrome dome motherfucker? Yes, he is all of those things, but it was interesting to me seeing that from someone who I would, I guess, identify as an anti in hindsight, and have almost a fear response to the idea a character they like could be bad, like, in a real world sense. Yeah,
like, that shit's so dumb. Like, they're not real! All of the things that they did that make them bad didn't actually happen! Because they're not real!
Okay, actually, here is something else that I would be more concerned, because everyone else who like talks about the whole pro ship anti ship usually brings like like violence into the argument. I would argue like why we don't depict like pro-racism shit in comics.
I mean,
like in any good light.
Even though, well, that's the thing. Like, again, using Fontaine, he's a massive racist, but it's not depicted in a good light.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a bad light, right?
Yeah.
No one would depict, but like, I'm losing my train of thought.
Wait, hold on.
You know what?
Toasty Cheese
know
just
what?
said something amazing. People should be free to like terrible fictional characters. It's like watching an animal in a zoo. That's so true. That's my
You know what?
stinky gremlin man.
I'll say it this way. People often portray bad things as a means of like acting out or getting over trauma. I have trouble thinking that somebody would have a trauma that like I don't know, maybe it happens, but like do you really think somebody's got a trauma that makes them want to draw characters subjecting them to racism or
I don't know.
maybe
I don't
just
know.
sexy times?
I
I feel
again-
like there's a difference between somebody having a kink for something and I don't know. It
It
racism
does-
just seems like so different.
Well, I mean, basically every time we have these conversations, it's like there's the entire conversation and then sectioned off for its own like little world is anything to do with sex. And as soon as sex
Yeah.
comes into it, the conversation always completely changes. And that's true
Yeah.
of basically all topics. Sex is like an add-on that completely changes the function of any item.
add-on.
It's true though.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah,
attachment.
almost.
Yeah. As soon as you attach it, the entire function of whatever you're doing changes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's,
Alright.
it's almost like how like when people get horny brain, it's like the horny takes over their brain. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what's it called?
Well, it's called post-nut clarity for a
Yes,
reason.
post-nut clarity. Thank you. Like it's like people they do their stuff just because it's for the sake of the horny, and then as soon as the horny is gone, it's like, oh god, why did I do that?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's the sort of thing where I think that oh god, it's reminding me when people go, oh well, men can't control themselves because horny, and I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
Kill yourself.
Yeah, actually stop. But if you have the post-nut clarity, it's like, wow, that was fucked up what I got off to. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's like the only person you've wounded is yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are people with a degradation kink, include race. Oh, okay, I haven't heard of that, but I guess I could kind of see that. I guess it's
I
kind
was
of
about to
like,
say me for a second when I heard degradation
no.
kink.
I can actually kind of understand that. It's like how a lot of women have like sexism built into their kinks.
Oh, like
Mm.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a little
fair.
different, but I can see how that might wind
so
up in
I
there.
yeah, maybe
feel YouTube
maybe it
coming
does
to
exist.
strike us down as we have this conversation.
So maybe it does exist, but maybe we're just not in the circles where we see it.
Well, I mean, I am aggressively white. You are aggressively white. Stream has a bit more of an excuse. It's like no one's being racist towards Canadians or Australians, you know? It's not really built into us the same way it
You know
is
what,
for
that's
people
fair.
of color.
The only racism I'm ever gonna experience is if I go to Britain and I shout, "Hey, I'm Welsh."
Yeah, well, I mean, the Brits find a way to be racist to everyone, so it's okay. They have a
it's
superpower.
okay.
Yeah, they have a superpower. They can figure out how to be racist to themselves. It's fine.
Hey guys, actually,
you're
Harley
right.
TBS extremely racist.
True.
Take it from me.
True.
Finally, somebody said it.
Disclaimer: we love
Okay.
Halls. It's okay.
Please don't clip that and attack Harley. Do not do that.
Harley's a good
Charles
bean.
is a good baby.
Oh god. All right. Any other things we can think of?
I think if we could just keep going on forever, we could have like a conversation like into the night at this point.
Bruh, we could totally do that. Yeah. Like I
The
totally
only thing is, I would have to switch the iPad so I can go make Demone.
yeah. Well, we won't do that just because I'm sure we'll stream again later. And I've got to move
You
out
know
of this
what?
apartment.
Well, we should do that next VidCon. Actually, we should like come back from like some sort of event and just like start streaming with like all of us in the B&B.
Oh fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Especially because the VidCon vlog is almost ready. I'm just going through and blurring people's faces and stuff. It's gonna take me a hot second.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, it's been like a
I
hot minute.
know, I know. It's all cut together. I've just got to go through and blur people's faces and put their
That's
chippies
fair,
over
that's
top.
fair.
Because, oh
Wait,
god.
you could like unblur Call's face now, right?
Yeah,
She's
Callie
done
doesn't have
the-
to. Yeah, that's so good for me. Callie and B don't need to be censored. Harley doesn't need to be censored, but everyone else does. Like, nothing has made me want to face reveal more than sheer laziness of not wanting to edit. The number of times I've sat there, I'm like, I could just fucking face reveal and be done with it. But anyway, that's a different topic for another day. Alright, chat. You want to say your goodbyes to the gals and we'll fuck off? We'll stop chatting at you.
Get trolled!
Yeah.
I will actually go make Demona Din-Dins, and then after I play with her for a bit and see if she wants to go for walkies, I can come back and stream on my Twitch if people want that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna finish
Oh,
packing
Mel-
up a bit.
Mally, I also asked you a question.
Oh.
And if you could answer that question for me later, that'd be
Oh.
great.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, it's... I'll just ask you here. Is there a way to find your corpse if you die on the horror map?
You
Outside
fucking-
of just wandering around to find it.
Huh. I'm actually not sure. I think
Shit.
so.
If I could get the coordinates, that'd be great.
I'll see what I can do. What happened? What got
Thank
you?
I was heading back to base and I fell in a lava pit.
Oh, you. I mean, if
Oh.
you fell into
I was because I was doing out like a big map of the area for us, and while I was heading back to bring back my shit, I got distracted because I was listening to the stream and I looked over and I hopped into a pit.
Oh, did
After
you
the
die
chat
in the
review.
lava? Because if
Yes.
you, I'm pretty sure that would destroy all your stuff.
No, actually, I've done it before and it didn't.
You've done it before?
I mean, actually, if you tell me where in your stream it is, I could probably just locate it. Human GPS it. You don't keep your VODs,
might-
do you?
I wasn't recording.
Fuck. Okay. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Cool.
Oh
thanks.
god. On that note, I've been just on the Minecraft notes, I've been in the season 2 world just copy pasting fucking schematics everywhere. I've been hiding buildings over the map. It's gonna I am adding fucking lore and shit, just hiding it around the place.
Cool.
But
I'm
Yes.
so excited for season 1 to end.
same. What was it? What date is it again? What date did we even pick? Hold on.
It's
It's
right
this-
after I
it's
get
this
back.
Yeah, it's next Sunday or Saturday, isn't it?
Oh god, okay. I hope my internet's all
It's
working.
the 12th to the 14th.
The 12th to the 14th. Fuck, okay. I thought we had
Which
longer.
works out
Shit.
for me because I'm gonna be in Niagara from the 9th to the 12th.
Oh
or
wait!
something.
Also,
But
actually, Mally, if you want to release the me fighting the worm
yes.
video, it is also okay to release now.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, okay, I will do that. I need to edit that real quick. Hopefully I can maybe do that today.
No, don't worry. There's no rush. It's just like because I know you've been holding on.
I've just been holding on to it like, when? No, we have a lot of law stuff we gotta wrap up like real fucking fast. So hopefully when I'm gonna be moving into my new place tomorrow morning about 6 a.m. So fingers crossed I have internet. Ha!
Mhm.
Alright, I think we've all said our goodbyes, talked briefly about Minecraft. But, alright, I will end stream in a second. Let me just deafen. Hi, stream. It's just me now. You're stuck with me for a second. Thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry we trolled you a little bit on Twitter. We love you. Sorry. We're going to do it again, though. We're sorry, but we are going to do it again, so the apology means nothing. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Give Stream and B some love. Say hello to them. B might be streaming a little bit later. She is... Oh, what is her name on... She's got a different name on Twitch. Hold on. God damn it, B. Why? Why you make my life difficult? B. I think it's Empty Brook, but I could be wrong. But follow her Twitter. She will announce it if she's streaming. And I will see you all once I have moved into my new place. Bye! I have no better way of outroing this.